Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We have 3 videos that we have to potentially look at today. We don't have the time, obviously, for all 3, but here's what we have. We have The Future of Creator Discourse, Legal Threats and Narcissism by Kunken Dastner. Never really, I haven't heard of this guy. Ooh. There we go. Haven't heard of this guy, but he just seems like a smaller creator. Is this bread tube? I don't know. Nah, just some drama stuff. But it is a new video. It's got 10K views right now. But then this one did come out a few weeks ago. I brought this up on a previous stream because I had said nobody was making actual hate videos on Ethan. I put North Start Radio when I looked it up. Nice. But nobody was making actual hate videos or like any type of critiques on Ethan during the break. But this video actually came out either right before the podcast went on break or during the break. So oops, my bad. I don't think many people noticed it. It got 500,000 views, but I didn't see like hardly any. I don't think I saw like even a single post about it on the H3 subreddit. So that's something, isn't it, folks? But yeah, so this video was called Ethan Klein, Your Crash Out Was My Masterpiece by North Star Radio, also known as Comrade Casey. And yeah, it's just I haven't even really skimmed this one too much. I think I actually did a week ago when I talked about it, but I don't remember it. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a lot to say, unless there's a little actually said. But the third video in question is Content Poop Ethan Klein. This video I did skim a little bit more. There's apparently something in this that is a newer talking point that I don't remember specifically what it was, but I guess we could find out. By Ban Imma Panda, and it's Content Poop Ethan Klein. Wow, what a great title. Comrade Casey. Don't worry, it landed, so you don't have to feel gross about it. H3 last week. Welcome in chat, and welcome everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna throw up. There's not many people in here right now, but we're gonna look through a couple Reddit posts and stuff. So I'm gonna throw up a tiny little poll about whose video premise seems most interesting. Is it Kunken Dastner, Comrade Casey, North Star Radio, or Ban Emma Panda? Yeah, you know, the good stuff. Oops, sorry, forgot to do this. Cool. Sorry, just making sure those were live. And then I'm going to put this live. So I just put whose video premise seems most interesting. Sure. Yeah. No, premise works. Whose video premise seems most interesting? And then, yeah, them. It could be a bad poll. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, obviously, you can think none of them seem that interesting, but it's about what seems most interesting. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's look through Reddit though real quick. Give that a second to brew. Yeah, this was the real reason that I wanted to watch it, just because someone had posted this on the subreddit, Kunken Dastner blurring Ethan in every little photo. What's that about? It's like the E star 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 E asterisk 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 K asterisk 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 asterisk. It, I think he's just doing that, but it does come across as like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be funny in the video, but just from these screenshots, it seems a little crazy. But that's just me. Look what I did to ban Emma Panda's face in my thumbnail. You know what I mean? But I I I didn't want to make assumptions, so I was just gonna show this off and let everybody else decide to make sure this gets as much traction as possible because it's not really pulling that many numbers right now. It's only 2 hours old, so it's got time. But guess which political drama slob streamer has majority old 30 plus unemployed cis white straight male audience? I don't know who this is. I don't know. There's a lot of people. Okay, I know it is not that bad, but that man catering to incel losers 8 hours plus every day is kind of pissing me off. 30 plus, 44%. Male, 67%. That's kind of. I looked at my demographics again. Mine's basically the opposite of this. I think it was well because I don't think they account for this, or at least mine didn't account. I don't have any non-binary people watching. I'm hated by the LGBTQ community, but I think mine's like 60. It was like 60 something, 30 something, but 60. So it was 60 something female, 30 something male, which is good. I think you want like a bit of a, you want that split. You don't want it to be all one sided, but I also don't think you want it to be a majority boys club as a male content creator. You got to appeal to the ladies, and not like in a weird way, in like a not weird way. But ethnicity, Caucasian, 58%. So what? White people like him. What's the problem? Or them? I don't know who it is. Sexuality, straight, 56%, and cis, 86%. Unemployed, 30%. Wow. Or 50 to 100K is too. I thought this was going like straight up, going like 50 to 100, and then this was 1 to 20. But I mean, it's not good, but considering that it's like a vast spread, this is what makes me assume that a lot of uh, I guess I was about to say something that's contradictory though, because I was going to say that this would make you assume that most of them are children, like most of them are just unemployed teenagers or whatever. But when the majority's 30 plus, and you don't, but then again, I guess you don't know who's lying. I remember as a kid, as like an 8-year-old, you just put like 1900. You just put whatever the oldest thing was. So the statistics are never really like 100% accurate, anyways. Latinos are also included in the white demographic, but I feel like we're more than that. We're more than just whites. Or you just said white. I don't know why I added the S. We're more than just whites. Um, but yeah, that's why I find demographics kind of interesting too, because generally speaking, like a Mexican or something might put white on like a paper when they're like Hispanic, but they're like, what do I? But that's why my mom started putting Native American, because she's just like, I don't know. Mm. And I mean, she looks the part. She doesn't know her heritage, and nothing really fits what she identifies with race wise. So, but yeah, again, I don't know what this is saying. I don't know who this is about, but just interesting, interesting indeed. Oh no, H3 last week you got the boys club. Oh no. See, I'm talking specifically about like I think streaming and once you hit like probably like 1,000 5K plus, because I think that honestly I like my demographics are probably skewed anyways, just because I'm pulling from a lot of the H3 audience, which is majority female. So, you know, you could all just be misogynistic women. Who knows? But now we're gonna look at some of. So this is a post by Jake Chinatown, but we're gonna look at what Ethan had to say first. So Ethan posted this yesterday. Taylor Lorenz is no better than Adam McIntyre. She has managed to market herself as something more, but she is a vile shit-tier snarker who is reviled by both sides of the aisle. The plight of the Palestinians is being cynically used by her to rehabilitate her image. But once this carnage is over, she's going to need to find a new grift. And I'll be waiting. And he's showing that Jake Chinatown is followed by Taylor Lorenz. You know, and people, she wanted to say, I guess I have to, this was the, Ethan wanted to make sure he clarified why he dislikes Jake Chinatown. And Jake Chinatown reposted this post, which and Ethan said, reminder who this is. Taylor will say, a follow isn't an endorsement, but tell me, what is the journalistic insight you are getting from a man who wants to violently murder my children? What a vile, hateful pig of a person Taylor Lorenz is. Very true. But I do think, like, here's the whole thing, right? His like argument, and we'll get to it, is that he just retweeted it. Those weren't his words, but a repost is you basically restating this. If you aren't going to like subtweet it or whatever, or reply, like there's no, like, this is you just being like, look, isn't this good? And Jake Chinatown reposted a person saying, I'd love to swing their kids by the legs into an oak tree over and over again. Let me read it one more time in my narrator voice. I'd love to swing their kids by the legs into an oak tree over and over again. And that was just and that was actually in reply to Comrade Casey, saying, Ela Klein, I lost a partnership just because I was born in Israel. And then Comrade Casey said, I don't know, maybe it's because you've defended apartheid Israel and its government for over a year. So because of this Comrade Casey post, this Jacob Snake guy, hapless homo, I'm not saying that about him, that's his handle, at hapless homo, I should say that, at hapless homo. He said, I'd love to swing their kids by the legs into an oak tree over and over again. And Jake Chinatown decided to repost that. Thought that was a real, at least it was so funny. You know what I mean? And then Taylor Lorenz tweeted going, Ethan Klein melting down on his IG stories because I follow one guy he doesn't like is especially hilarious because I follow over 11,200 people. And yeah, safety in numbers? Is that what she's trying to say? Is that her argument? Hey, there, I just clicked the follow button. There's probably some Nazis on there, probably some pedophiles. Who knows? We're just clicking. We're just follow anybody. Oh, you posted a picture of it that just said "yup." You posted an image with there was a black screen with just white text that said "yup." Following everybody. I don't know. But yeah, that's Taylor Lorenz and Ethan still going back and forth. And Ethan brings up this Jake Chinatown guy quite a bit because I'm pretty sure Jake Chinatown is someone who gets reposted by Hassan. So it's like, when Hassan reposts this guy, it's an endorsement, or at least he follows him. It's something tangential of that sort. But you get the idea, is that when someone reposts something, it is them supporting it. And to follow somebody is like, at least when confronted with some kind of critique, should be in question. Because if you do just follow people randomly, it's also just as easy to unfollow them. It's all for journalism. I love when my journalist follows everyone without knowing who they are. Yeah, exactly. It's just random people on Twitter. What's the problem? I'm trying to get my numbers up. We're at a 3-1 right now. Or is it 130K? My bad. Sorry, Taylor. I thought she was only at 30K. I'm doing her bad. So it's a 10-1. Got to get those numbers up. But Jake Chinatown is considering suing Ethan now. Claims Ethan wants to place a hit on him. Should I sue public figure Ethan Klein for instructing his fans to dox me and repeatedly telling them I want to murder his children in what seems to be a transparent attempt to incite violence against me? Yes or no? It's got 104 votes, bro. Oh my god. So many people have signed this petition. You've got to do it now. Put in the time and money. It's so worth it. And then he continues, he has not once gone after the person who made the tweet, who has a podcast and has been on fucking Chapo and is much more influential than I fucking am. He just wants someone to kill me. It's pretty fucking obvious. I mean, honestly, maybe Ethan didn't know that connection. I just love that these people squirm and throw each other under the bus so hard. You were the one retweeting him, bro. Didn't you like that guy? Why are you trying to throw him under the bus? And who gives a shit? This is such like a stupid argument of being like, hey, I threw the second Molotov cocktail into the building. You haven't even arrested the guy who threw the first. What's the issue? People can assume things about me and not other. What? People can assume things based on the company I keep? Oh no. But then he continues, if you think someone that posts shit like this deserves a platform at YouTube, I don't think you deserve to exist. He makes these claims on your platform as well, and you do nothing. And this is him reposting. He wants to kill my children, Taylor. Why don't you show the tweet you retweeted? Come on, show us. Show us what you reposted. We know. We see what you're doing, Jake. We see you. We see what you're doing. I see you. But yeah, I mean, he didn't tweet it himself, so that means it's okay. Literally was just reading this post while listening and scrolling. Well, now you get to hear it again. But let's see. Let's get into these videos because they're going to be a little long. Oh wow, it's a pretty decent split, honestly. But Comrade Casey and Kunkin Dastner actually take the win at 35-35, with Bad Emma Panda only getting 29. So sorry, Mr. Emma Panda. You are going to have to wait till another time. But thanks for the thumbnail. We will be watching this one first and then moving on to the Comrade Casey one, just because this one's a little bit shorter, so. Or, I guess, should I do it the other way around? We got time. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Don't worry.
If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest. Because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time.
Hi, Anderson.
You know what would be the funniest point in him doing this is what if this person's doing this purely because they don't want to get sued. They think if I blur his face, then I definitely can't get sued. Just make content that is like transformative and, a valid commentary that is opinion based and is not claiming to state a fact or is not emboldening some group to harass or, so on and so forth. But let's get into it.
If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest. Because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time.
Hi, Inner Circle. If you're a lot like me, then you enjoy
He's
watching
putting that butt to rest.
social media content creators. I like a lot of them. I am one sometimes. I'm inspired a lot by what they do. But, oh my god, if influencer isn't the most ironically perfect double-edged sword term for what it is that they do. A lot of these creators do this for money. That's not a surprise, and it's reasonable. I think the reason most of us do our jobs is for money. But there is a difference between doing it for money and doing it for the money. And there are some times where that distinction is more important to make than others. Today, specifically, I want us to look at the content of public...
I get the distinction he's trying to make, but I think that was the claim already. Nobody was saying that doing stuff to make a living was wrong. It's always been that you're just going where the money is and not holding true to any values.
Figures disagreeing with each other, and how a certain topical example right now has helped change it from what was once the disagreement of opinions and the exchange of ideas into a ego-driven smear campaign making immense profit that is threatening people's actual careers. And secondly...
Wait, what? Were those the words?
...to a ego-driven smear...
Ruthless, ego-driven fights full of lies and half-truths, making way too much money that seeks to kill careers.
Campaign making immense profit that is threatening people's actual careers. And secondly, my personal goal for this video is to avoid saying anything that could be clipped out of context and used against me in court. And sadly, yes.
Wait.
Avoid saying anything that could be clipped out of context and used against me in court.
You can't really clip stuff out of context in court. That's kind of the point of court. But it is true that you should probably be careful with the claims and statements that you make. But, hey, do you?
And sadly, yes, the two topics are very related.
Wait. Sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot in this intro, but there's a lot to say.
The exchange.
This is what reactions are. This is what real transformative content looks like.
Ideas into a ego-driven smear campaign making immense profit that is threatening people's actual careers.
So that's
and secondly,
statement. Okay.
My personal goal for this video is to avoid
goal.
saying anything that could be clipped out of context and used against me in court. And sadly, yes, the two topics are very related.
So, wait. I'm kind of confused. So he's saying the two things being doing it for money versus doing it for the money and being sued for clipped out of context. Or is he saying the two things are being sued and the statements that he makes? Okay, I think I'm just being maybe I'm being a little dumb. Maybe I just need to let it play. My bad.
Actual careers. And secondly, my personal goal for this video is to avoid saying anything that could be clipped out of context and used against me in court. And sadly, yes, the two topics are very related. But first, let's go over a rundown of the story so far and see why I would think it is a bad precedent to set.
Okay, I think I do understand. He's just saying the two things are related in it being Ethan, because he thinks Ethan will sue him for out-of-context clips. Because he's trying to come out against content, create influencers doing false copyright disputes or, creator disputes, whatever he said.
The most prominent ongoing discourse to come from the creator space recently is between Hassan Piker, the political streamer and homeowner, and H3, the podcast host and former commentary channel. These two previously co-hosted a political podcast together called Leftovers that was abruptly discontinued when they disagreed on the topic of the Gaza genocide by Israel, with Hassan standing vehemently in favor of Gaza and H3 supporting the IDF. But them splitting is only where this starts, because since then, whenever Hassan spent time on his stream covering a topic from Gaza, H3 would dedicate his own content to aggressively reacting to whatever he'd say, claiming it doubled as a slight at himself. Other political content creators around Hassan's orbit would comment on this cycle, leading to H3 focusing in on them as well and labeling them as his opponents, dedicating his content to covering their movements as well. Every time an Israeli attack gave these political creators something new to cover, H3 would use those videos within his own content by reinterpreting their commentary as direct attacks on his personal character towards his previous involvement. Meaning to this day, Israel
Can you show a couple examples of this?
relentlessly bombs citizens in Palestine, Yemen, Syria, and everywhere else their Holocaust spreads, which means whenever these
Wait.
covering their movements as well. Every time an Israeli attack gave these political creators something new to cover, H3 would use those videos within his own content by reinterpreting their commentary as direct attacks on his personal character towards his previous involvement. Meaning to this day, Israel relentlessly bombs citizens.
Wait, okay. Wait, he doesn't mean that Ethan talking about this has caused them to, caused more war crimes to happen, right? That's not the point he's trying to make.
Palestine, Yemen, Syria, and everywhere else their Holocaust spreads, which means whenever these creators speak out on it, H3 spins it as a continuation of his discourse. What could have been an isolated incident of two large figures collapsing.
So, this seems stupid, right? Because this seems all secondary to the actual cause, right? You're saying somehow him making it about himself, let's even just run with this premise for a second. Him making it about himself somehow allows Israel to continue its actions. Because one individual creator is pointing out what they believe to be other creators not caring about the cause and only caring about them. I'm so confused by this.
Clashing in opinion has become a 2-year timeline of discourse between prominent creators that updates parallel to a modern-day Holocaust. Yes, that's a lot. It could be a topic worth analyzing.
Yeah, Holocaust is a little different. I mean, I guess if we're just going, it's just so loaded to use those terms because it's like using genocide. Okay, genocides have happened around the world. It does feel loaded on a certain level, but when it does, when it fits the bill, you kind of have to eat crow. But fuck, what was I about to say? God damn it. 1 second.
That updates parallel to a modern-day Holocaust. Yes, that's a lot. It could be.
Wait, fuck, what was I about to say? I completely lost my train of thought. Well, that's all I'm going to say now. You're wrong, Ethan. You're wrong. Sorry, this video is literally I feel like I'm having to my God, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm really sorry for losing that train of thought. It'll come back to me probably.
Between prominent creators that updates parallel to a modern-day Holocaust.
Oh, that's what I was saying. What am I talking about? Sorry. When you say those terms, it fits the bill. You have to use them. But to use the term Holocaust specifically when referring to what Israel is doing, honestly, in any context, feels loaded in a lot of different ways. And again, my biggest critique on anyone comparing Israel to Nazis is, even if you grant that, we didn't destroy and dissolve Germany as a state after World War II, even though Germany was younger than Israel is now. Sorry. my brain, it works sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah. Dun- is that his name? Is his name Duncan Kastner? Because I honestly, it's just been hard to read. Kunkin Dastner. And yeah, just don't use Holocaust to me. They use it to upset Jewish people. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yes, that's a lot. It could be a topic worth analyzing on its own, and believe me, it has. And it's because of that that I want to do something different. Even though the specifics of this discourse are very important, what it has. And it's because of that that I want to do something different. Even though the specifics of this discourse are very important, what I'm additionally worried about that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about is how this being the most prominent discourse right now could be inspiring a lot of the people who view discourse content as a profit margin. To be clear, my investment in this discussion has nothing to do with the actual arguments being made. In regards to the actual discourse of the situation itself, I'm not here to attempt to add any nuance or exploration on that because, in my opinion, Hassan is right and H3 is in the wrong. Because their disagreement is on Palestine, I'm not here to put any
Okay.
itself do with the actual arguments being made. In regards to the actual discourse of the situation itself, I'm not here to attempt to add any nuance or exploration on that because, in my opinion, Hassan is right and H3 is in the wrong.
What is the point of this video then? Even if that's your perspective, you can still have it. So are you saying you don't have a nuanced perspective? To believe that would mean that you'd have the most nuanced perspective or no nuance at all. If you were like, Hassan's actually right because some fucking crazy mental gymnastics, but well, okay.
Because their disagreement is on Palestine, I'm not here to put any devil's advocate into understanding their approach because what's happening to Palestine and Gaza is a red line issue for me. I have no interest in attempting to push any sympathy onto anyone who's willing to defend Zionism. I'm not approaching this story with a pro-Hassan stance. I couldn't if I wanted to. I don't know anything about him. And I'm not approaching this willing to defend H3 because, again, I don't know enough about him to do so. What I do know is their positions on this argument.
My question truly is, what is your solution then? What is the true solution in your one-state plan? The plan of the one-state solution, what is it? Just to open borders? Because they always go, no, that's a... Then what is it? Because even Ethan has said that his view on the two-state solution is like an interim for a one-state at some point. And hey, bro, let's work towards it. Let's work towards one world government. Let's do it. I don't even mean that ironically. If we can make it work, I mean, I don't know how well it'll work, but I think history will continue to repeat itself if we do not learn from it. Wise man once said.
And I know that Israel is the biggest modern threat to human rights in our generation, which tells me enough about who's in the right here. I can't double down on this enough. There is no defense in Israel that is not rooted in bloodlust and cowardice. So, human rights in our generation, which tells me enough about who's in the right here. I can't double down on this enough. There is no defense in Israel that is not rooted in bloodlust and cowardice.
It's just so, it's just moral grandstanding. Make arguments based on, any type of, logic or reason or just using pathos over and over and over and over and over again is, one, not a smart rhetorical strategy, but it's all it's going to be ineffective. But it's so see-through because clearly people care about these things and they should care about these things. But to act as if there is no nuance even in morality is a stance that most leftists don't hold. I guess not most, because there are a lot of religious leftists, but when leftism is the viewpoint of atheism, a lot of the time, you kind of have to believe in some kind of subjectivity to life. So it's just weird. It's weird, and it's just moral grandstanding.
So I have no interest in playing both sides or trying to find a compromise here. To redefine what is happening as personal drama, I don't even want to come close to doing that.
Also, is Israel really the worst place on earth for human rights? Is that what he said? Is that actually what he said? I'm sorry, I'm really trying to listen, but I'm stopping it like every few seconds, it feels like. Every point just seems so draining. If that's what he said, that's crazy.
Here. And because that is what H3 is
We're
doing,
just going to keep it going.
I know who I'm against. So yes, when addressing the specific story,
He did say that because he has no idea what he is talking about. He gets all his news from Twitter, yeah. I mean, hey man. Boots on the ground right here. Journalism.
I am going to be biased because it only takes a shred of empathy to understand that H3 is just one of many.
So I'm going to read what this post actually says. Every time someone hates on me, a fucking PETA falls from the sky in Gaza, apparently. That's what they act like. I felt this was a particularly heinous line of Ethan's. Sorry, it's fucking so stupid. Just unblur the name, dude. It's so corny. And it's literally when Hassan was like calling Destiny Voldemort and being like, "Oh, don't say his name. Why give it power? Like, why give him this much power over you?" So odd. I felt this was a particularly heinous line. I honestly did think that this was a bit insensitive in a sense, but I think that it just comes from Ethan feeling that they're being insensitive and that they have a disregard for the actual care of people, and that their care is purely for what Ethan is doing. But this person said, I felt this was a particularly heinous line of Ethan's, and I hadn't seen much discussion of it. Racist. Plus, making light of mass famine and suffering of the Palestinians. Also, bonus reference to the genocide as the conflict. I mean, it's not. If this is racist, then you have to admit that. I mean, at the very least, this is the thing. If this is racist, you have to admit that the Sabra tier list is anti-Semitic, right? Because this is much more like innocuous, but it is insensitive to those starving, but is more so to kind of it is like a jab, to be a jab at the people who are the fake activists that will spout off on Twitter as if that is some kind of aid, and as if that is them doing their all.
Many apathetic colonists who refuse to think outside their own experiences for even a second, wasting our breathable air, living as human beings in favor of this generation's Holocaust. I wanted to make sure that I said that and you know it before we continue, but let's take the specific details here and put them to the side just for a second, because if we're going to understand content around creators disagreeing, we have to understand why creators disagreeing can even be content. Content creators on YouTube have been disagreeing and arguing with each other since the very beginning. I know, arguments on the internet. Try not to be too surprised. It was pretty shocking for myself as well. Online platforms like YouTube, and the internet in general, are centered around expressing the user's opinions, even when they're not.
Are we about to get a fucking YouTube documentary? Bro's going all the way back. So let's start from the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God said, "Let there be light," and there was life. Then there was light. Then God created the heavens, however the story goes. You get it.
Stated. Whether the genre of post is social commentary, comedy skits, how-to tutorials...
Fucked it up a little bit. Damn it. The theologians are going to come for me.
Politics, music, movie reviews, literally anything. There's an opinion being expressed by the person uploading the work. And opinions, fundamentally, are going to differ from person to person. So disagreement is inevitable. But it is the degree to which... Why am I explaining fighting online? We all know it. We see it every day. But what's important to contextualize is that time changes things. With every passing year, the internet becomes more ingrained with our society, and what is considered standard behavior online evolves alongside with it, for better or for worse. Mostly worse. Whenever anything drama-related tends to start between...
Actually, here's an interesting perspective on time. This is kind of just me being a little bit of a little silly Billy, but I was thinking about this the other day. I've actually been thinking about this for a long time, but I think about it the other day, probably every couple weeks. And basically, think about this. You know how as you get older, you're like time starts flying as you get older. It. I felt like I can't even remember what happened this last week. It went by so fast. That is because your perception of time does appear shorter as you age because it is a smaller percentage of the perceptive time that you have amassed. So, in a life of 100 hours, 1 hour is 1% of the life, and thus would appear to be a perceptively longer amount of time than once you have perceived so many of that span. Just a little we're getting into a lot of stuff here. Time dilation based on age? What?
Things. With every passing year, the internet becomes more ingrained with our society, and what is considered standard behavior online evolves alongside with it, for better or for worse. Mostly worse. Whenever anything drama-related tends to start between creators, people tune... Whenever anything even remotely drama-related happens between creators, people tend to stop and tune in. Even if they're not familiar with the creators involved, drama is inherently fun to watch, meaning that because of the inherent entertainment of disagreeing, what might start as a simple argument between two creators might evolve into something drawing in astronomical attention and views, making the creators fight all the more public. Previous examples of creators beefing used to be just back and forth uploads responding to each other's arguments. Like, I think this, well, I think this. I would say this to this, or I respond to that with this. Response videos. It was just turn-based uploads for the audience to follow along with to see updates to the argument, and you know that every video there was short and packed with ads because we're talking about influencers here. Even when they're fighting, there's going to be some element of deriving money from it. So the fighting isn't new. We get that any opinion you might have is going to be met with fighting, but the degree at which the arguing is happening, that has changed. The type of discourse we're seeing, especially here now with H3H3, has been influenced by our shifting culture, and there's still just too many large forces that have made our culture violently divisive, ready to explode at a moment's notice. Before we continue, there is an elephant in this room I'd like to address, which people familiar with this topic have picked up on already, but H3 is not this creator's real name, and he doesn't really look like this. I've been blurring his face, and I plan on doing so for this entire video. The short story is that I don't want to say the creator who's involved, and I know I do that at the cost of a lot of you finding that annoying, but I'm hoping that as the video progresses, you'll start to see why I did this. But
there's no point in doing it because it's so blatantly obvious what you're talking about. My real question is, I wish I could see his tags, because I wonder if he put Ethan at all in the tags. If he added H3 or Ethan Klein to the tag list.
for now, I'll state two reasons. The first is that I don't want his name to be used as a keyword in the search for this video and have this profit off of the popularity of the drama. I'm not here to give this person any content to react to, nor am I here to give anyone from his audience anything to bolster his arguments.
The curly mullet trend needs to stop. I didn't even realize that iDubbbz donated his hair to this guy. It's a little interesting. After he shaved it all off, he was like, here you go, buddy. You look like you need it.
I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to contribute to their conversation. I'm here for us to analyze what's going on with a broader topic in mind, and I don't want to have my work devalued in that way. The second reason is that, as this video's title implies, there are legal elements going around, and a lot of videos talking about this have been included in threats of defamation lawsuits from channels that are a lot smaller than mine.
What? Wait, what? Nobody's been sued for defamation. Was that what Noah Samson was going to be sued for, presumably? Is Noah Samson smaller than him? I don't think so. Because they've all been sued for copyright infringement. Noah Samson. Yeah, Noah Samson is 580K. So I don't know what this guy's talking about.
So, at the risk of sounding selfish, I don't want my video to be included in any court arguments. Like, I can't afford a lawyer right now. Are you kidding me? In this economy, this list of reasons could expand, believe me, but for now, it's enough. So I will be referring to this person.
Dude, if I got sued for any of my videos, I would literally just use like a public, like just whatever defendant I can get. Be like, hey, bro, I'll defend myself if I need to. If nobody wants to, I'll fucking go in there and be like, what's up? Because I know that everything, like, everything that I do. Look at how long I've made this already. It's been 10 minutes. I think I've already watched 25 minutes. I've made this 25 minutes long, and we've only been through 10 minutes of it, so we're doing great. But like, if you're not willing to stand behind your content, then I guess, yeah, just do what you're gonna do. But I don't think that this would necessarily remove you from like litigation, like possible litigation, depending on what you say. Because if you're using someone's likeness and just lightly blurred, I still can tell who this is. Every time you've put up EK, we all know who EK is, especially everybody within Ethan Klein's audience. So it's like I don't know, it's kind of dumb.
As H3 and blurring their face, just in the loose hope that it protects me somehow.
You're doing great, sweetie. Thanks. Trying my best. Got to make sure that I'm really putting an effort. Look at look what I put in the description. You'll understand.
Legally. But on that note of legal action, let's talk about how H3 has been weaponizing these threats on multiple platforms in order to silence his critics, and how the justice system might be used by creators more often now. Heavy lifting on justice, by the way. The first step of the YouTube and legality world is copyright infringement and fair use. It's base level stuff and has been standard since basically day one, but that makes it ground zero for the nightmare it's becoming today. One of the
It's almost like lawsuits come when you break the law. It turns out if you don't do that, you're generally not at risk. Quite literally. I don't think many people understand that part. Yeah, I know, yeah. And he also said it's H3H3. I will not say his name, but I will say the channel. Put things like KETH101 and just lightly blur his face. Take stills from their podcast. Talk about topics that are clearly about... Like, it's just so... Like, it's nonsensical.
Thing on justice, by the way. The first step of the YouTube and legality world is copyright infringement and fair use. It's base level stuff and has been standard since basically day one, but that makes it ground zero for the nightmare it's becoming today. One of the tactics H3 has been using on YouTube creators who are reporting on this ongoing breakdown is to issue a copyright claim over any clips of his stream the channel might show, reporting it as re-uploaded content. This is partial...
Whoa. So, I mean... Oh my god. Oh my god. After all this, like, I'm not going to try and put leave myself open to litigation. I'm not going to leave myself open to any litigation. Immediately lies. Immediately falsely claims something. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god. I'm actually like... Let's just keep it going.
Actually grounded in a reasonable contention, because posting somebody else's video violates the official YouTube policy on copyright. If somebody makes a video that I like, I can't just download it and post it unedited on my own channel, because that is just stealing. And if my channel is monetized, I might be making money off of somebody else's work. Very understandable stuff. But where this gets dicey is determining just how much of another video you can utilize, which is what H3 is capitalizing on to justify his claim wave campaign. Reposting an unedited video is obviously a violation, but this has led to people disagreeing on how much of a video you can reference and still get away with. Especially with the commentary genre, like what I do here. I might have to show pieces of a video in order to give context or show you what I'm talking about, and technically that is reposting somebody else's work, if you wanted to get very pedantic and technical. YouTube addresses this with its rule on transformative content, meaning as long as a segment of a video is being used as an example within another creator's original work, it counts as being edited. So it's not theft, it's more technically sourcing. However, the public perception of this policy is muddled by the copyright enforcement of movie studios and music labels. Because if you show even a clip of a movie in your video or a tiny segment of a song, that studio or corporation has the grounds to come at you.
Well, the whole thing is you could then counterclaim or basically be like, no, it wasn't me. Oh, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And then it goes to a lawsuit. And just nobody has been willing to have these lawsuits with these these major companies because of the law teams and the stuff that they could get you bogged down in. So it just hasn't been worth it. But something like this, the lawsuit that Ethan is going for right now, it's so weird, too, to say that Ethan's lawsuits are about defamation and then make commentary about the copyright policies on YouTube, because that is quite literally the copyright policies cross platforms is what Ethan is critiquing with this lawsuit. So amazing.
This miscommunication between what is and isn't claimable led to rumors about a passable amount of a song or movie being allowed. People claimed you could use 15 seconds of a copyrighted song before the YouTube censors could detect it, but despite that claim catching on, there's no evidence to back up any amount of reuse being safe. But the human spirit is nothing if not stubborn. Most creators will work around.
Well, they're all based on bots, so it's all subject to like the independent video or song that's in there. Like sometimes karaoke songs do work. Like literally there are like popular songs from the 2000s that you can get the instrumentals for and play on your like also the video game soundtracks and stuff like that are probably under some kind of copyright that are used pretty frequently in certain creators' content. So again, I don't know what the what the legal like things are there, but who knows? We could see in the future. It could all change.
Around this by reviewing movies using only clips from a trailer, or they'll adjust the on-screen visuals or add an audio effect to a song to try and outsmart the detection software. A recent example in the short-form content that you may have seen.
Oh shit, Alex is in chat? Everybody remember what Keemstar said? Don't you do it. You'll be banned. You will be banned. You'll be automatically banned probably. You'll probably get your account in a lot of trouble.
Is the addition of a horizontal line or text.
That's a deep cut, anybody that understands what I just meant.
Based captions in order to alter the video. It's cluttered, but I'll admit it's a little less invasive than what YouTube has to do. The point being, companies not allowing transformative content at all gave some creators the idea that any amount of their work being shown was available to be claimed. Even if they knew better, they have this option to claim first and feign deniability later. A big part of this is knowing how it really works, but doing it anyway in order to justify your actions to your audience. So we can go ahead and add that to my list of reasons for being vague. It's also worth noting that when you are claiming a video as a creator or studio, you have the option to take the video off completely or to leave it up and simply redirect all of the money it generates to you. This adds another layer onto H3's mass claiming. He's not having the videos be taken down, as all of them are still up. You can go watch them right now. Instead, he's telling his audience it's copyright infringement and defamation, but off-screen is only trying to steal the money it's generating. You can, as a creator, claim a video, and YouTube will assume you're in the right, and it's not until they manually check it that they might reverse the decision, and by then, you might have already made a lot of money off of it. So on the technical side, these...
I don't think you understand... Wait, what? I don't think you understand how the copyright... how this works.
Generating. He's telling his audience it's copyright infringement and defamation, but off-screen is only trying to steal the money it's generating. You can, as a creator...
Yeah, that's not just as a creator, that's as... I guess just as a creator, yeah. As a any type of creative... when you're making music or movies or whatever, it can be partially claimed, fully claimed, or it'll remove the content. You can get splits. They have splits for certain things where you can get split percentages based on like a certain curriculum. But yeah, like,
or to leave it up and simply redirect all of the money it generates to you. This adds another...
Yes, because if they are profiting off of your content, you deserve at the very least a cut, if not the majority of the money made. Again, if someone wants to do that to my videos, I'll probably take it to court. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's take it to court. Let's have some fun. I mean, it's just stupid. Like, really, like, if you make transformative content, it'll more than likely get thrown out by, like, whatever. It'll get thrown out by the judge. They'll be like, yeah, what? Huh? Your lawyers will probably be like, what's the case here?
Another layer onto H3's mass claiming. He's not having the videos be taken down, as all of them are still up. You can go watch them right now. Instead, he's telling his audience...
Yeah, he's also just making stuff up. The thing is, I need to stop doing this. I'm bad at this. I try and give people, not the benefit of the doubt necessarily, but like, I try and meet people where they're at. Because I'm like, if I can argue and break down why the points you're making are wrong, then it's not even necessary to just say that, like, this is just false anyways. Because, yeah, the only person that was actually making a video was Noah Samson, and he was the only one that wasn't going to be sued for copyright. He was going to be sued for defamation for saying that Ethan supported a genocide. all of these other people are streamers that streamed the content to siphon away the initial views from the like original content, which again goes against the tenets of fair use.
It's copyright infringement and defamation, but off-screen is only trying to steal the money it's generating. You can, as a creator, claim a video, and YouTube will assume you're in the right, and it's not until they manually check it that they might reverse the decision, and by then, you might have already made a lot of money off of it. So on the technical side, these clips of H3s within commentary videos clearly fall under transformative content, but for the audiences unaware of this policy, what H3 is doing is a viable course of action to take and defend. And that isn't the primary problem here, right? I can't blame people for believing H3 if they don't know any better. The issue is that on the creator side of things, what he's doing looks very easy, and if a creator wanted to recreate this action and similarly gaslight their audience, this is telling them that it's...
And yeah. Since he did the copyright through the Library of Congress, like, it's just on a different level. It is then to the level of a movie or a TV show or something legally, and can be like used legally.
Don't know any better. The issue is that on the creator side of things, what he's doing looks very easy, and if a creator wanted to recreate this action and similarly gaslight their audience, this is telling them that it's still very easy to do. And that isn't even the only legal loophole at play here, because H3 has been relishing publicly the idea of actually officially going after these creators with lawsuits and defamation claims. And right now, it doesn't seem to be going unchecked. One of the elements that really led to this story being blasted into the public perception was the inclusion of defamation lawsuits. But the people already following this and familiar with the people involved understood that this had the ulterior motive of placing a hit. This being H3 threatening to sue and dox the mods of his Snark Reddit. And I'm aware that to the regulated people who are offline, that sentence has a lot of weird fantasy words, so don't worry, we'll define all the stranger words here.
Yeah, define docs. Let's see how you define docs.
This is the act of spreading someone's personal address or information online against their wishes. It's
When did he do that?
really only ever used maliciously with the intention of inviting hurt or harassment onto someone from others. This behavior is a descendant of swatting, which often now includes stream swatting, where people playing video games on public matches would get frustrated and call the SWAT team on their opponents using their IP address. So real soldiers with real weapons, treating it like a real threat. The implication of hurt there is very...
It's funny that you bring this up, almost like how people called CPS to Ethan's house. But he doesn't want to get in their personal beef. That stuff is icky. But doxing, yes, that is publishing private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet. That is a fair definition, and good job just pulling the Oxford language from Google. But really, I mean, to be fair, if you want to be like nitpicky, he's not the one publishing it to the internet. They get published to legal documents just get published. That's kind of just how it works. Him going just because you're an anonymous internet user doesn't mean you're free from any type of litigation or anything, or any type of legal enforcement through what if you commit a crime? Is it doxing for the police to then arrest you and that legal document to be out there? Does the news dox people when they put a come on? And that's why doxing as an idea, that's why doxing isn't, or I guess, how illegal is it? Because there's certain things, it's about like the incitement and stuff. I don't actually know because also a lot of information is public, like people's addresses and names and stuff. Tying them together, I don't know if that would be considered doxing. But okay, again, this is it's all semantics at that point, but okay.
Doxing has the same implications of intended violence. In previous creator briefs on YouTube, doxing is...
At the end of the day, doxes have been part of court since its inception. If you don't want to be served and go to court, you may want to attempt to avoid breaking the law. Exactly. Thanks, Fred.
something that didn't come up often, so when it did, it was considered an extreme violation. 4 years ago, the creator Frank Hassel was fighting with Boogie2988. He filmed himself showing up to his house, which Boogie countered by coming out with a gun and firing it in the air. This reaction split people, understandably, but they agreed the severity of visiting his home warranted some kind of severe reaction. Anonymous creators...
That was not really the outcome of that. People thought Boogie was crazy for that. I personally don't think it was that bad, but I remember everybody was hating on Boogie for that. They said, dude, that's insane. You went outside with a gun. You deserve to get arrested for that, bro. You're a fucking psycho. All he did was show up to your house. Why are you being weird?
He filmed himself showing up to his house, which Boogie countered by coming out with a gun and firing it in the air. This reaction split people, understandably, but they agreed the severity of visiting his home warranted some kind of severe reaction. Anonymous creators and VTubers are constantly dealing with doxing attempts from their fans, but even other creators in the same space have been caught with group chats dedicated to exposing the creators they don't like. And it's understood that in exposing them,
there's too much anonymity on the internet anyways. That's what I'm saying. I've been thinking about this for years, where I'm like, let them fucking let them post a picture of me online gurking it or something. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Oh no, you got a picture of me in a maid outfit? Cool. Someone makes AI a porn of me? Oh no. No shame, no fear.
they are attempting to go after their careers. 2 years ago, the reaction creator Sniper Wolf doxed the creator Jack's Film's home on her Instagram story because she was featured on his side project calling out lazy reactors. This blew up and drew in a lot of contention online, with most people agreeing that Sniper Wolf was way out of line in doing so. So even in these instances in the past, there seems to be this common understanding of this unwritten social rule that no matter what you're arguing about, doxing other creators was a sign that you lose the argument. Creators doxing each other was always seen as unacceptable. Audiences doxing creators has always been seen as them being manic and reprehensible. In all these cases and all others, unless direct harm is at risk, doxing is unacceptable. Mods, short for moderators, specifically on Reddit. These are the users, usually anonymous, who enforce the discussions by the individual subreddit rules. Subsequently, Snark page. On Reddit, where you can make community forums about anything, it's common to see larger public figures have a Snark subreddit page made about them, or to be brought up in Snark pages dedicated to non-specific figures in general. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's for being snarky. It's a page where people go to vent their frustrations on a creator, no matter how petty they are, without being worried about community reprimanding. So if a creator had...
And I think that is... One, it's like a level of cowardice, but it is also bad. It feels bad to me, at least, to focus your attention around the things that you dislike rather than trying to find a new interest. I have an interest in something. Oh, there's something to all of a sudden hate. Fuck it. Throw it to the curb. Why would I care? I'll move on. There's other content creators. There's other, novel writers. There's all types of stuff. You can just move on. Doesn't mean you have to hate all the stuff that came before. And it doesn't mean you have to continue hating all the shit that comes out. So, find things you love, not the things you hate. So let's continue hating on this video. Let's go. Let's go.
As a Snark page, they don't actually have it under their control. It's something assigned to them after reaching a certain level of fame. It's often moderated by fans or ex-fans who make sure the posts aren't violent or dangerous, just snark. It's a designated space to have personal, even petty complaints. When I first heard about this, I just assumed it was another form of internet bullying, but now I would assign snark subreddits under mean-spirited feedback more so than bullying. You don't go to an influencer's snark page to read think pieces and consider nuance. It's a
yeah, this whole premise is extra funny considering Panda and those are literally famous for doxing. It's just so strange the people who started this and have done everything they think Ethan is doing and worse just get to slide. Not only do they get to slide, they get a boost through people like Noah Samson and all these other people that are like, yeah, he's actually really, you should check him out. I know in the past, I have said that he's a psycho and he's an idiot, but he's hating on Ethan now. That shit's pretty good.
designated forum for
this fucking lunatic psycho has an opinion similar to mine. I'm not going to rethink my stance. I'm going to start assuming that they're actually a good guy. You know what I mean? It's like what Hassan always says, oh, you know me from my enemies. What about the company you keep?
Venting frustrations without it reading like a direct attack. While I'm not in love with the idea in general, and I would personally hate having a snark subreddit dedicated to myself, I do see the bright side in having one. At worst, it's a central, concentrated area for you to specifically avoid, instead of rolling the dice scrolling through your own YouTube comments. But even if it's mean, it can be a good place to see what your viewers are responding to. It's feedback, even if it's malicious. A chunk of people are going to hate whatever you make anyway, and it's the contract all creators sign, so fighting against it is like swimming upstream. My point to this, with the larger context, is if H3 is mad about him having a snark...
And I guess even beyond the point of talk about things that you're interested in more than the things that you despise, it would be to say that it is these type of pages encourage the like apathy or whatever, because these people are going out of their way to find new things to hate on to get the praise and the approval of the other snarkers. And then it's a feedback loop. They do that, they go look at other people's posts, and they just keep feeding each other through hate. I don't get it.
Page. That's understandable. That reaction is just a reaction, and it makes sense. But treating it like a severe threat that warrants you going after it with the legal process is an...
They sent CPS to his house and called ICE on one of his employees. They've done a lot of bad things that are actually illegal. Doo-doo-doo. Sorry, that one had to come out in a weird, offbeat, off rhythm, off note song, because you can't say we're not going to get into the details because I don't want to get in the middle of all this, and then bring up all of this shit half-heartedly, and like, because what you're doing is, in the same way that you don't want to get sued, I don't have money for a lawyer. You are showing that you have some level of knowledge of the things that you are then not fully like admitting to. That's how I feel right now. That's quite literally how I feel.
Overreaction, and it is letting it get to you personally when, while letting go of it may be tough, the right thing to do is to ignore it and move on. In this instance, H3's snark page was rising in popularity following his year-long Hassan meltdown, and in response, he labeled it as a personal defamation and claimed he was preparing a lawsuit to sue the moderators specifically. The thing is, there's no legal grounds for that. Defamation is a little more complicated than community-led discussions on someone's behavior, especially if you want to assign the direct violation towards the people reading. And, like, the moderators aren't posting the stuff themselves, they're usually just making sure, like...
Exactly. So they would... Oh my god. They would be complicit. They would be the ones responsible for making sure that these things don't happen. And it's stupid to say they aren't the ones posting. Do you think moderators do not have the ability to post within the subreddit? They were the ones making some of the posts, and they were the ones that were cross subreddits like moderating. What the fuck?
Despite the moderators aren't posting the stuff.
Wait.
A little more complicated than community-led discussions on someone's behavior, especially that. Defamation is a little more complicated than community-led discussions on someone's behavior, especially if you want to assign the direct violation towards the people reading. And, like, the moderators aren't posting the stuff themselves, they're usually just making sure, like...
Yeah, it's just, they would be a complicit part of the crime of defamation. And, again, it would just, it would be like a... You would go up the chain. The poster, the moderator, and Reddit to some level would all be responsible for these posts to be allowed on the platform.
Despite the heat H3 is throwing at the moderators, I think that he knows this.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit. It's driving me crazy.
I don't know what that...
They go, oh, 230, you can't do anything. Really? That I can't believe that. That a website just allows this level of harassment, and it's just like, oh, 230, you can't fucking... That's
230.
Section 230, they can't be held responsible for what their users post.
But in following through with a lawsuit, these moderators of the snark page would have to appear in court, effectively revealing who they are for H3 to see. I think the play here is to dox the moderators with the intention of intimidating them to leave. This would either lead to the forum getting shut down, or it would intimidate the rest of the people participating to
I just don't understand. Like, what is the? I mean, literally, what is the fear of having like you at the very least your face out there? Put your face behind the words that you're saying, or else you are a coward. Plain and simple. I'm talking about you, Nicholas Diorio. I know you're eating a bowl of cereal behind that screen. I know you don't want us to see what you're up to. You're in there hitting rails off your desk.
Abstain from it because H3 now has this precedent set that he'll come after you. And abstain from it because
he's even trying to scare them with slurs, calling them snarkers a slur as he fucking blurs out, redacts Ethan Klein's name, being like he's referring to a snarker as a slur. He's using it as a derogatory term.
H3 now has this precedent set that he'll come after you. And H3 has demonstrated that they have no issue with doing this to people. So I don't think it's crazy to imagine that if they were in court and they found out who these people were, they wouldn't keep that to themselves. You know what I mean? They'd probably share it. The snark page is bothering him, so he's going after the people in charge of it and intimidating the rest of the people to leave it alone. I can't prove that that's what he's doing here. I can't say that's definitely what's going on. But it's not unbelievable. We can go ahead and add doxing to my list of censorship reasoning. Because, like, I don't want to be doxxed, and you don't want to dox me. I'm inside in my attic editing all day. I'm never out. You won't find me. And even if you found my apartment, I live in a busy street. It's like a crowded area. You'd have to park far away and walk to my place, probably uphill. It's a hassle, and nobody wants that. Besides, I might boogie you. So H3 has no problem going after the individual viewers of people who disagree with him, even if they might be his former audience. But he's not the one going after them, right? What he's doing is opening the floodgates for his audience to go after them. And as it turns out, audience brigading is another bad precedent to set. I am sorry for butchering my lines. If there's anything H3 wants to take me to court on, the grounds of being a bad YouTuber, viable. The reason H3 is using all of his social medias and upload content to cover this story is for the purpose of keeping his audience up to date and on his side. If nobody agreed with him, this amount of focus dedicated onto other people's opinions is sad and pathetic. And it still is, but his fans see it as warranted, as they believe his claims of him being under constant attack.
Hey man, he's not on Twitter anymore. He's got to find some way to blow off steam.
Keeping this story relevant over this amount of time is reliant on his fans feeling like they've been drafted into this war for his credibility. But is this really about approval? His fans already like him. He's trashed the hope of the involved creators respecting him. Is that really what all of this has been for? I can at least attest that personally seeing H3 dedicate so much of his time towards extending the coverage of this story makes me question if this is really about preserving his dignity or boosting his arguments. I mean, if so, a lot of this time could be better spent, right? And to be honest, I don't think this should be our primary focus, as we want to know what damage this will do to the creator space, more so than why he's doing what he's doing. But they could always have something to do with each other. So, okay, this definitely is...
What is he doing? Because you fucking already misrepresented it, saying that it's about saying that he was threatening to sue people because of defamation at the very beginning. Then you said he's putting out false copyright claims. It's just so bizarre.
Is driven by the personal vendetta, and the end goal here seems to be dominating his opponents. Checks out? Sure looks that way. But if we're looking about this behavior and think about what might inspire other creators to repeat it, that isn't enough. Reputations are certainly prioritized online, but plenty of creators have no problem debasing themselves and their reputations for money. Oh, that's it. I got it. The lasting effect this will have on the creator space is going to have to do with money. It's not impressive, but where I'm landing is that if other creators are going to ever copy pages from the playbook of events we're seeing here, it's going to be done so in the hopes of recreating the profits being generated. Now, I don't believe H3 is pretending to care about this just to grift. With the size of his platform, he does not need money that badly.
I also just love that it's just like, when there's nothing else to argue, just be like, bro, you're just doing it for fucking money. You're just doing it for money and to make yourself feel better. It's like, maybe he feels like there's a point to prove. Maybe that's slightly ego-driven, but...
He is fighting to the death about his opinions, and all for his ego. He's a narcissist. It's petty and emotionally driven, but the money aspect isn't small enough to overlook. For example, the lawsuits. H3 is definitely doing this for his ego, but he also seems determined to take money from these creators. One of these lawsuits that H3 seemed particularly focused on was accusing the streamer Denims over an alleged anonymous CPS call on his family. And when he was playing over his footage on stream, he intentionally seems determined to take money from these creators. One of these lawsuits that H3 seemed particularly focused on was accusing the streamer Denims...
One of these lawsuits that he seemed particularly focused on was accusing Denims.
Determined to take money from these creators. One of these lawsuits that H3 seemed particularly focused on was accusing the streamer Denims over...
So this is just a blatant lie. This has nothing to do with the lawsuit. What the fuck? You are... Bro, you're literally doing the thing that you were talking about in the beginning about not wanting to set yourself up for litigation. Did you even do the most basic amount of research? Read even the introduction, just a little brief that the lawyer wrote in the beginning of the fucking lawsuit? Like, come on, man. They were the same for each one. You could have just literally read one of them, and it would have been the same for all three of the fucking lawsuits. Like, dude, get mad.
Over an alleged anonymous CPS call in his family. And when he was playing over his footage on stream, he intentionally moves his own camera to cover up Denim's chat, while an edited version stayed uncovered.
I believe this is a live view of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were...
No, it's not.
And this has already been debunked.
I think when you full screen it... No, this isn't edited. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged. Oh,
So quite literally him admitting that, yes, it is a cutout. These are the individual chats pulled from her scrolling chat and then placed in a manner that does not happen on any streaming platform. They do not scroll, they pop in. So it's clearly an edit. Nobody thought that it wasn't an edit.
Really?
Over the screen, yeah.
Did you catch that last clip? Yep, his own employee just tried to show him that he's wrong, and he ignored it because he's lying. At this point, I don't know if he's watched a single real video of me.
Which is enough proof that he's lying to anyone.
And then he puts himself on this side so you can see the CPS call. Or so you can see the CPS call. So you can see the chat talking about CPS calls.
Reasonable. But the fact...
But oh wait, he's covering half of Denim's fucking face. It's almost as if he would want to be able to see her in this reaction to her.
that he is still pressing on with these lawsuits, despite...
And then he waits a minute and then switches it. Oh, I wonder why. Is it because he's trying to cover the chat that he literally talked about in a previous episode? This is a separate episode to the one that you just showed in the other clip? This is a different outfit. He's not in a suit in this one. This is a completely different conversation. That was, I think, before the one that you showed after.
On with these lawsuits.
So it's like, dude.
Despite overwhelming evidence and him being extraordinarily shady. Additionally, Noah Sampson, one of the YouTube commentary creators who H3 claims to be suing for defamations, recently hosted a week-long fundraising event stream to send aid to Gaza.
Please upload this reaction to your channel. I will, Alex. Just for you.
Raising nearly $550,000 from his community, which, a side note, this is an incredible accomplishment to achieve, and it makes me so happy to see the community pool what they can for what is painfully obvious to me as the right cause to support. I am especially proud of everyone who is able to...
Yeah, that's also true. It was Nate, not Ethan, because Ethan doesn't control where his, where the screen placement is. That's his, switcher's job to make sure that everything is, able to be seen on the screen.
Send aid, and even though I might be biased, I believe Noah making this happen makes him one of the top commentary creators on the platform. H3 would disagree with that, though.
I don't know how many of you know who this guy Noah Sampson is. He started his second video by saying, "It's threatened to sue me." It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
Oh, wait.
I'm literally going to sue you for defamation.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, Noah raising money to help the victims of Gaza is secretly all about insulting him.
I will say, that was the one thing that Ethan shouldn't have done, because you can't pump fake lawsuits. You gotta let that shit blow. So, if they were going to do it, him and Mudahar really should have, laid down the iron fist, or at least known that they were going to before talking about it.
So, it leads H3 to say this.
Noah just did this massive fundraiser, and let's say hypothetically I'm planning to sue a bunch of these people. They just keep raising money, because Noah's like, let's prove to you that we can raise the money to fight this lawsuit, which is fine. Like I said, I prefer them raise the money so that I know that at least there's something left when I win, right? Man, that's just math. That's just logic. That money's coming to me, eventually. So, it's good. If he was bankrupt, I wouldn't collect it all. So in a way, it's good for me that he's crowdfunded.
You can't see it because I've smudged out his face, but this man is salivating at the thought of taking all of the money Noah and his community raised for him.
That is knowingly false. You just defamed him. He is not salivating. That is quite clearly a hyperbolic statement meant to act as if he is in some kind of extra aggressive and manic state. Defamation lawsuit coming today. See you in court.
For Gaza. He plays it off as a joke, but there's nothing suggesting that this isn't his actual plan. Even his little podcast minion over there points out how disturbingly greedy he sounds, to which H3 just sloppily course corrects and drops the topic.
So in a way, it's good for me that he's crowdfunding. But I do think it's
Well,
funny.
he's not crowdfunding for his lawsuit.
No, he said, I'm going to crowdfund, but I'm doing it to prove that we can. I said, instead of crowdfunding for the lawsuit, I'm going to crowdfund for Gaza.
But that's like an actual good cause.
Yes, it is.
So what?
So what's funny, though, is that he's asking his audience to chip in to prove, right, that he can crowdfund.
It doesn't prove anything.
But
The sort at all.
there's got to be a limit. Like, he can't go, you think he's going to go...
Well, also, more people are obviously more willing to give.
Is he saying that this is Dan calling him out for being crazy? This is Dan calling him out for it not making sense, the point that he's making. Which is, again, a point to the fact that the crew doesn't just side with everything Ethan says and doesn't just... Like, they literally push back to a lot. But let's hear it again. So
Community raised for Gaza. He plays it off as a joke, but there's nothing suggesting that this isn't his actual plan. Even his little podcast minion over there points out how disturbingly greedy he sounds, to which H3 just sloppily course corrects and drops the topic.
So in a way, it's good for me that he's crowdfunding. But I do think it's
Well,
funny.
he's not crowdfunding for his lawsuit.
No, he said, I'm going to crowdfund, but I'm doing it to prove that we can. I said, instead of crowdfunding for the lawsuit, I'm going to crowdfund for Gaza.
But that's like an actual good cause.
Yes, it is.
So what?
So what's funny, though, is that he's asking his audience to chip in to prove, right, that he can crowdfund.
It doesn't prove anything.
But
The sort at all.
there's got to be a limit. Like, he can't go, you think he's going to go...
Well, also, more people are obviously more willing to give to a cause than going to a good cause versus some dude's lawsuit.
Yeah, totally. That too.
Dan is not blurred. Dan, sue this motherfucker right now.
But like at the end,
What is it?
it's awesome. I think it's fucking great.
Again, there's no doubt I have that H3 is in this primarily...
Yeah, so that literally was not Dan being like, bro, that's super greedy. It was Dan going, what? That doesn't make any sense. But that's kind of how I felt through most of this video, so fair enough.
for his own ego, but he keeps circling back on the financial aspects of it. Whether that's around his gain or their loss, I'm unsure. Remember back earlier in this video when I was talking about old creator conflicts doing back and forth reaction videos and I noted that they were all loaded with ads to mutually profit from the drama? Every podcast episode has ads turned on, and most have sponsors. The constant Instagram stories convince his audience to show him support by watching the streams, which increases the income per view. And for the drama creators watching and taking notes, they're not engaging with whether or not H3 ego survives. They want to know if he's making money. So whether or not this is his ulterior motive, H3 is making bank from all of this, and that makes the harassment and vitriol he's caused everyone else all the worse, because he's earning money off of their expense. And what he's doing to brew audience engagement and nursing their resentment towards these creators is vital to the process. And keeping them engaged with every minuscule update is what keeps the money printing machines charged. Posting over a year of constant uploads regarding this, video after video.
Here, we're just going to take a quick look at where they were. Estimated revenue on view stats. So, no, they're making some pretty good money. I don't need to question. I can just look it up. I also don't even know if that's accurate. But, hey.
Instagram story after Instagram story. Day in and day out. Day in. Day in. Oh, I must have fallen asleep while filming. That is embarrassing. Nope. No, it's been 2 weeks since I filmed. There's probably been some updates in the case since then. Yeah, he announced he's suing 3 creators who reacted to his 2-hour hate video on Hassan, got mad they were fundraising money for legal fees, admitted he only did it to harass them, threatened to add another lawsuit unless they apologized, which is illegal and extortion, and is planning on using his own money to wait out the case, slowly bankrupt them, essentially paying money to showcase them as targets for his audience to gleefully threaten them with torture and abusement. It's Ethan Klein.
Yeah, and the making money part is just fun. Well, because... And again, it could be... Calling somebody greedy isn't necessarily anti-Semitic. But it is funny when that's what it always comes back to when talking to Jewish people. Is like, oh, well, you're this. Well, you're that. Oh, well, you're not. Well, you're at the very least greedy. You're at the very least a penny pincher and greedy about how much money you want to make.
Klein. The dude we've been talking about, the guy who runs the H3H3 channel, the H3 podcast, it's Ethan Klein. He's known for wearing a lot of beanies in 2016.
No, he outed him. No, bro, now you're definitely going to get sued. Fuck.
Having an N-word compilation dedicated to him, and Zionism. Within his career online, Ethan once was in a similar position where he was...
Hey, man, again, these snarkers aren't even... These are the best hits, dude. There's way worse shit out there. Figure it out, bro. Stop doing the fucking bare minimum.
It's Ethan Klein. He's known for wearing a lot of beanies in 2016, having an N-word compilation dedicated to him, and Zionism. Within his career online, Ethan once was in a similar position where he was being sued for defamation by someone, and he seems to have taken all the wrong lessons from that and decided to apply it here for his own benefit.
It's like those with money in the legal system
have the ability to destroy and bully and just defeat people on the grounds of I have more money, and you never would have a chance of defending yourself. It's obscene, guys.
Ethan
Yeah, he got tired of blurring. He was like, this last 6 minutes, I just can't do it. That's why it took 2 weeks. He got it actually most of it done in the first week, and then that last week he was like, fuck.
If you are somehow watching this, I humbly volunteer to be sued by you. It would be a privilege to be the first white man in your official list of lawyer go-get-ems. I may be irrelevant based on you and everyone else you're suing, but life is short. What do you have to lose? Add me to the list. I would love to go toe-to-toe with you. And honestly, if you want to skip the court thing, we could just fight if you wanted. The point this video was originally building towards is that creators nowadays are relying too much on harassing in order to solve their problems for them. That's what this was about. The doxing, the audience brigading, all of this was going to lead towards the larger picture of harassment and weaponizing an audience to torture your opponents into submission. And that's bad. I don't like it. And I wish the point of the video...
I'm genuinely like in a fit right now. This is like, it's just, you're halfway there. You're almost there. You're just, what the fuck?
Video was that. Just quit it, everyone. But unfortunately, the discourse happening right now is about to set the stage on web...
I feel like this react is too generous to this numbnut. A bot that just sarcastically says, sure, dude, every 2 minutes seems fair.
There or not, this harassment transcends audience...
Real. That's what I should just been like, yeah, okay. Okay, brother. Sure.
and starts becoming more infused in real-world
It probably would have done enough.
consequences.
If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest, because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time.
If content creators, or really...
The point of this video is so fucking stupid. You're right. Is he said the point of this video is a broader point about the creator landscape and the way that people weaponize their blah, 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 all this shit. Just to at the end be like, yeah, so Ethan Klein, sue me if you want, you fuck. See if you can do it. I'm ready for you. See what happens. It's so like brain numbing.
Anybody who posts anything gets the idea that they can have their opinion met with an opposing one, and they can fight it with lawsuits and lawyers and audience brigading. There is going to be no cap to where this can stretch. And larger point aside, that doesn't change the fact that Ethan is clearly running these lawsuits against the creators in order to just drain them of their money and slowly bankrupt them with law fees. And hopefully even his diehard supporters will see how petty and cruel this is. Of course they don't. I hope this is fake, but it looks like some of them are being inspired by this to the point of wanting to do the same themselves. They feel attacked for supporting someone and being judged by others when that someone turns out to be a screwball. These creators should not have to be bombarded by legal fees for having an opposing opinion to Ethan. That's why they reacted to his video, because in this economy of creators, everyone's reacting to videos.
Ethan didn't even sue Noah Samsen, who you keep pointing to. Noah Samsen literally said, Ethan Klein supports a genocide. Why the fuck would he sue you? Like, it genuinely, like, he's suing the people that he knows are a slam dunk. He doesn't want to do petty litigations that are going to be, like, you know, ridiculous. He understands that doing certain things will make not just himself look bad, but the creator space look bad. So he's doing things that are strategic in nature. Like, come on, man.
His claim that they didn't react enough is insane, especially coming from him. For anything to change, we need platforms like YouTube and Twitch themselves to do or say something, and platform giants don't like getting involved when their reputations could be damaged. So, unless one of you has like a phone number for a higher up at either of these companies, they're probably gonna stay silent. What we can do as individuals is make sure that the audience reaction to this is pretty universally heard. Support these creators and any future ones caught up in these lawsuits.
Well, it's just so stupid because he's literally, he said in the beginning that he thinks that Ethan is suing them for defamation, which is just a complete misstep from the beginning because he's suing them for copyright infringement. So if you wanted to be included in this, you would have to infringe on the copyright in some way. And is that kind of what he was like?
I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest, because it's only a matter of
Being met with
one of you joking.
harassment, trends, but unfortunate audiences and
Like, I'm just so confused.
starts becoming more infused in real-world consequences.
I'm just so confused.
Disingenuous behavior on display when it comes up, online or offline. If you are a creator yourself, please, respectfully, put some goddamn elbow grease into condemning Ethan's actions here, because we are all about to be affected by this.
Dude, why don't you put some fucking elbow grease into condemning Ethan's actions? What the fuck was this? Why don't you actually put some fucking elbow grease into it if you actually want to make a valid criticism? Like, oh my god.
Continues this way. Free speech online, as we know it, is about to be rewritten in order to cater to people who want to run.
You don't understand what the fuck you're talking about at all. This has absolutely nothing to do with free speech. What the fuck? Oh my god.
But joking aside and beyond all else, what frustrates me to no end is the fact that this...
Joking aside, that was... What was the... What?
...transactions here, because we are all about to be affected by this if it continues this way. Free speech online, as we know it, is about to be rewritten in order to cater to people who want to run crying to their lawyers. But joking aside... and
was it just that last little sentence was a joke? What the fuck? What? It wasn't even a part... It was a part of a sentence. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Beyond all
it's almost over. We're almost there.
No end is the fact that this is all stemming from unimportant creator drama. It is an important result coming from an unimportant spat that started in the first place because of a real-world genocide. The fact that we are all having to even spend our time thinking about Ethan Klein when Israel is bending history to its whim right now is completely unacceptable. It's unreal, and I cannot believe the creator space has become connected with this, of all things. The important part of this story is the potential risk of losing ground on free speech online. The unimportant part is Ethan Klein. It doesn't matter what specific creator is doing this. And even that pales in comparison to the loss of life. That is the most important thing. Please continue to support the creator.
Dude, and then he's gonna end it with... Bro. Oh my god. Oh my... He's gonna end it with the virtue signaling. He's gonna end it with the... He started it and ended it with the fucking virtue signaling. Oh my god. I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed.
And public figures who are vocal about this. Don't let intimidation tactics from media platforms, Zionist YouTubers, or even the US government stop you from advocating for what your core itself knows to be true. It's simply not.
Actually advocate for it then. Don't make a fucking drama YouTube video that had nothing to do with the actual conflict then. You said yourself that you didn't want to talk about it because, oh, it's just so simple. It's just so easy. It clearly isn't that simple if it's a divisive issue. There clearly needs to be something said about it, no? It's just super easy. Everybody just needs to click their mind and understand. Do you think that's how it works? Just in one... Not even just... Like, this is a divisive issue, not just for the left and the right, but within the left itself. So, if you think that it's just in... One day, oh, everybody's going to realize, oh, they're a bunch of genocide-supporting Zionist freaks. They just need to hear it enough times, and then Israel will just dissolve itself. Clearly, like the only type of thing that's encouraging is more militarized action against like Israel, which is then going to that will then impose like Israeli retaliation, which will like they have like the best air force in the fucking world. Like it's so dumb. It's literally so dumb. Oh my god.
Not worth the silence. Even if I am sued for every dollar, banned from every social media, or even
beautifully crafted rage bait. Dude, I'm literally like raging out.
By a flimsy acting government. I'm doing it having stood my ground for what I believe in. I'm hoping you'd all be willing to do that too. Free Palestine, protect free speech online. Fuck you, Ethan. See you in court. Or not. Well, everyone, that...
At least we can agree on one thing. Free Palestine. Fucking hell. We only have 30 minutes left. There's no way we're going to be able to watch this whole thing, but we'll get through. I mean, it's probably going to have me raging in the exact same way, so... You got to do what's necessary, you know what I mean? Is this... That was on the wrong thing. God damn it. For some reason, my light changed. Whatever. We're all good. Also, why is he acting like Ethan wants to sue him? I mean, it's literally the same thing that North Star Radio did. Comrade Casey was like, if Ethan Klein doesn't react to my video on stream, he clearly just assumed, he clearly thinks that all of it is true. Like, he's really fucking scraping for the clout. He's clawing at it. Let's keep going. Chop, chop, poll, boy. Yeah, I should put up the poll. We do have time. They are going to be 30 minutes late. You have a good point. Let's put up the poll and let's start this. So this is Ethan Klein. Your crash out was my masterpiece by North Star Radio. Coming at you from North Star Radio. Oh yeah.
Oh, here's a funny Comrade Casey post. Then this dev tells into something really interesting. This dude, Comrade Casey, 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 Comrade Casey. Like he's a slick editor. Comrade Casey, Comrade Casey, Comrade Casey. He made a video about the end of Leftovers. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's long as.
He's a slick editor. He is.
I generally don't like watching videos like this because it's usually depressing. And it seems to have like a neutral title, but I think everybody noticed as they were watching through it, even Hassan, I think, commented on it, that this video is a little fucking weird.
Pretty much the core of the videos that you became like a debate pervert.
900,000 Jews were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to it.
Here, we're going to speed it up just a tiny bit because it seems like there's going to be a lot of fluff in this. The other one we did at 1.5. Let's see how that sounds for a sec.
Arrows. So that's my boy North Star Radio, who is a hidden snark user / obsessive freak making content that is biased against me. And also apparently he hates Jewish people. China sucks. Russia, bullshit. Cuba, overrated. Venezuela, hole. I'm gonna Joseph McCarthy you.
Ethan, I've been sitting on this for a long time. I knew the day would come, and you knew it too. Back on September 11th, 2024, while the nation mourned, you began a journey. Or rather, I sent you on that journey. I uploaded a video that didn't just critique you, it defined you. I laid out point by point how you'd gotten debate pilled without understanding a single concept beyond liberal good, conservative bad.
Is that the one I reacted to? I remember I reacted to one of his videos and posted the reaction, and it was like, oh, where was it? I don't even remember which one I want. I just remember I did not like it, and then I got a bunch of comments of people being like, you didn't even make any good points, and I was like, can you point out what the fuck I said wrong? It was pretty good. It was good stuff, as always.
You tried to be a political commentator without doing the reading, without even understanding a single word leaving your mouth.
In Cyprus, we have Turkish Cypriots and we have Greek Cypriots. In Ukraine, there are people that they are a lot more pro-Russian, closest to the Donbas region, and also closest to Kiev. They are more pro-Ukrainians. You know that they're a bit oppressed, actually, the Ukrainians that live closer to the Russian borders because they are forced to have the language of Ukrainian. Everyone speaks Russian there.
There were some pro-Russian sympathizers in Ukraine. I think it's exaggerated how many, but ever since the invasion,
Okay,
that has shifted.
No, you know what it is? Comrade Casey has not gotten hardly any attention from Ethan. He just keeps getting fucking thrown to the side like a used... I won't say it. But he clearly just wants a little bit of love. He wants a little bit of something. He needs that attention, that affection. And so he's going the bad empanada route. He's trying to play the mastermind, the villain. Oh, it just... Don't you know? I am actually the one who made you go down this spiral. You're going crazy, and it's because of me. Quite literally, who does he think he is?
Finish my point. This whole notion that there's like a ton of Russian supporters in Ukraine, I think, is not correct.
Okay.
Let's do the poll like this.
Stop funding you.
Can't even trust KC's, not even the soda. I prefer RC Cola. Just saying.
Ukraine or keep funding Ukraine?
Yes, should we let Ukraine fall to Russian tyranny? But that's
No,
accurate.
not like that.
But that's accurate.
No, that's...
Was it... I heard somebody, I forget who it was. I think it was Rhett and Link. I think I heard Rhett say that he's a Dr. Thunder man. And when I heard that, I went, That's my boy right there. Because I've always been a Dr. Thunder man. Most soda, it kind of tastes the fucking same. Dr. Pepper and Dr. Thunder, it's like it's like a fucking prune soda. It's good. But Dr. Thunder is Walmart's. And honestly, they've upped the price a lot. It used to be 62 cents for a 2 liter. Now it's like $1. But hey, I'd rather pay that instead of $3. But we're talking about soda now. Back to KC, not KC. Whatever.
But this is. But I told you, a lot of the people on the sites that they are occupied now,
I
they
feel like
don't
that's
hate
hearsay.
Russians.
I feel like that's hearsay.
Should we keep funding the war? Yes or no?
Should we let Ukraine fall to Russian tyranny?
And in your hubris, you turn
Fine, I'll say it. RCD's nuts.
those debates inward. You got accustomed to easy wins.
Do you feel that sometimes you argue from emotion rather than like concrete facts? I find that when you talk about, and I've watched a lot of your videos, you say, I feel this to be true. Do you feel you do that a lot or no?
I try. I would say
You guys don't know about the Dr. Pepper's substitute, Dr. Thunder? It is from Walmart. What about Dr. Fiesta from Bash's? Dr. Fiesta is pretty good. Dr. Fiesta, or the classic, everybody knows Dr. Bob. Drinking on some Dr. Bob. And then their less prestigious cousin, Mr. Pibb. But he's trying to be cool now. He goes by Pibb Extra. But you know. If you know, you know. But again, back to North Star Radio.
I'm a woman, so sometimes, yeah.
So why should I engage with in a conversation with you at all if women are just emotional? Shouldn't I be talking to a man about this? Don't you feel a little slutty when you walk around with your big biceps out and shit?
I only put on this shirt so that I can show you guys that I work out.
That's a little fucking slutty, bro. Are you looking for validation from people in chat?
I'm just trying to flex on you guys.
But why?
I'm trying to show you guys what's up.
No, but like you think that it's funny. You think you're being funny, but you actually just totally undermined everything you said. Let me. I have a theory for you.
I'm ready.
I think you actually fake having Tourette's. Yeah, I think you actually don't have it.
What did you think I had?
Well, let me just break it down.
Okay, now I'm just like, I'm lost. We were talking about soda for too long. What the fuck is the point of this?
Fake having Tourette's. Yeah, I think you actually don't have it.
What did you think I had?
Well, let me just break it down. I think
yeah, just some Yankee shit. Yeah, sorry, Europeans. Sorry, is it in South America? Who knows?
It's kind of a funny thing. I doubt this is what happened, but maybe you just called someone the N-word on the bus, and then you're like, oh no, I have Tourette's.
And I've always said this. I always respect people who enter into the arena. And we've had a lot of debates on the show, which is different from like a Change My Mind where we sit down and have conversations. But my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach always said, if you come switch, we go switch. You go spicy, we're gonna do a little spice. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Cedar. What a fucking nightmare. I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy.
When you go on these tangents, you're gonna.
I saw a video of H. John Benjamin calling into the Majority Report, talking to Sam Cedar about Tim Pool, and it is Bob talking to Hugo about Tim Pool. It is the funniest fucking thing ever.
Rampage, you just ramble and ramble without making a concise point or a question. Is it you're done with that shit? Can we talk like adults now or not?
I think this conversation has kind of been exhausted.
People would rather watch me full stream cam do the fucking worm.
Do that, bro. Do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many views you get. Oh, he's crying in the corner.
Oh, that's what it was. He's just out here to get easy dubs. Hey, I mean, who doesn't want them dunk points? Hey, bro, you want to pad your stats as much as possible.
Beating racists and idiots so effortlessly that you started to believe you could out-debate anyone, even your own podcast co-host.
Golly, last week was the capitalism versus socialism week. But I have to tell you, I want to talk about it more tomorrow because I've been thinking a lot about it.
Great.
Well, that's what Thursday is for, right?
That's what Hassan's there for.
I myself am pretty ignorant on the methods of governing and histories and all that. So I do think this conversation of, I'm not even gonna say capitalism because that seems to trigger people. I'm just gonna say social democracy. I was actually invigorated by the conversation in that I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I've been thinking about our conversation a lot and I've been educating myself a lot. I want to better represent my position because I don't really know a lot. And I feel like I've done a lot of research in the week.
What did you do? What did you read? What kind of research?
I had a very in-depth conversation with ChatGPT.
But the moment you faced real pushback, real evidence in the face of your feelings-based arguments, your confidence crumbled. 3 debates.
It's just so funny to put in like jokes from the internet comedian to be like, look at this shit. He's admitting to it.
Disasters.
If the employee is extremely satisfied,
yeah,
and they feel well provided for, I mean, in a sense, it's like Who are you to tell him he's being exploited? I don't see what's so great and humanizing about hiring a janitor for 0.00015% of the company.
What do you? I don't understand. That's not what I said. You just.
China's not that far from fascism.
It's the same with.
It's like right
China's
there.
not that far from fascism. America is literally 10x the Nazi Germany fascism. Though
I disagree. China's closer. Because they have they have
you
the
said
one.
They built a military, but they haven't even
That's
fucking
not the only
used
thing
it.
I said. I don't think Chinese fascism is better or worse than American fascism. Why is that funny?
What's worse, the violence towards the civilians in apartheid South Africa, or the violence of the?
As soon as you have to like argue the levels of something, you are conceding that it is like fascistic, because you're trying to get Ethan on this point of being like, oh, isn't America fascist? Yeah. So you're admitting then that China's fascist, because you're saying America is more fascist.
The apartheid regime, you would say the violence of the apartheid regime, right?
I don't know. Did they mass murder 1,500?
I tried to raid H3 before the end of the stream last time. They have it locked, so I would have to be in contact with them. They would have to allow me. How sad. Let them know, Alex. Be like, hello, Mr. Klein?
Civilians? This doesn't seem like a small rally, frankly. There's a lot of people out here.
There was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters.
I mean, that's insane, right?
I haven't even. Yeah, okay.
Israel was fighting to defend itself before America gave up about the region. The Jews were fighting to defend themselves and their new.
It's so. I was about to fucking Hulk smash my fucking desktop setup. It's so easy to argue these points and to just go, oh yeah, it is crazy when the people were lighting the fucking Waymos on fire during the ICE protests. But, you know, when you push people to the point of protest, there will always be bad actors that, center themselves instead of centering the issues. And I think that is like a necessary, like, nuance to understand in protests in general. And that's like to any scale. And I know they're talking about Israel-Palestine. I'm just using an example. And so in that, you can literally be like, yes, this message isn't, it comes across as this way, but it is coming from a place of unbridled frustration. You know what I mean?
Place in that area from the very beginning with no help from anybody.
That's not true. They were shipping in weapons.
Have you lived through daily suicide bombs in cafes and bus stops?
As a matter of fact, I have. I grew up in Turkey, but that's a different point.
I'm gonna go find a group of black people say the Confederate flag isn't racist. I'm gonna go find.
Ethan, please stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're being ridiculous. This point
Ethan, you're making a conflation that makes you look horrible. Why don't you see this?
It means fucking nothing. If you don't want to hear the perspective, if you don't want to empathize at all with people that find it offensive, then conversing is kind of pointless. And you know I'm not a fucking radical Jew. I'm not even a religious Jew.
No,
I have no stake in the game. And this is coming from.
You got your feelings hurt so badly that rather than admit defeat, you dragged the entire show and your friendship down with you. A self-inflicted rage quit. The first.
Wait.
I'm gonna go find.
Ethan, please stop. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're being ridiculous. This point
Ethan, you're making a conflation that makes you look horrible. Why don't you see this?
It means fucking nothing. If you don't want to hear the perspective, if you don't want to empathize at all with people that find it offensive, then conversing is kind of pointless. And you know I'm not a fucking radical Jew. I'm not even a religious Jew.
I don't understand what the point of using this clip is, because this is literally a clip of. This was the splintering point. This was when Ethan finally understood that Hassan was not for him in any regard and was only for his own personal gain. So
I have no stake in the game. And this is coming from.
You got your feelings hurt so badly that rather than admit defeat, you dragged the entire show.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be Ethan crashing out. But yeah, all of these clips are honestly like Ethan making legitimate points, legitimate criticisms, and then Hassan just basically being like, I don't know what you're talking about, Ethan. What? But, okay. If that's the stuff you're going to say, if that's the conflations you're going to make, it is confusing. But hey, like Ethan said, he's a great editor.
And your friendship down with you. A self-inflicted rage quit. The first phase of your downfall.
I do feel like I'm probably going to pause leftovers for the time being. You know what I mean? because you know what I mean. It's just I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's it. And it sounds like a lot of y'all don't want me to talk about it either.
Yeah, he literally realized that Hassan was never his friend. Yeah, Hassan, because the whole thing is, Ethan seemed like he was trying to build a business partnership out that could flourish into like a long-standing friendship. You know, something a la Cheech and Chong. Yeah, I don't know if they get along that much anymore. But regardless, Hassan clearly was only in it for the like monetary and social gain that he would get from it, which is not a way to live.
No.
Yeah, both this video and the last video we watched had very odd music choices. Like, guys, just scroll through the YouTube creator thing a little bit longer. Just keep scrolling through it. You're picking like the worst ones. They're definitely picking like the top. Like, what's the new?
When that video came out, people said I was...
We're in a parlor right now. Let me rewind it a little bit.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's it. And it sounds like a lot of y'all don't want me to talk about it either.
Now, when that video came out, people said I was being dramatic. People said I was stretching. But little did Hassan know, he was feeding the thing that would eat him.
I remember there was like a little scuffle between Cheech and Chong. There was like some kind of like something where they were like, we don't talk that much. But if they got a game and a movie coming out, hey, smoke up. Or up in smoke. Either way.
I don't know if it's like that. Like, I don't think it's like that.
But time has a way of vindicating people who know what they're talking about. And from that day forward, you proved me right at every single step.
So you have these terrorists that went and did this horrible attack, and then they retreated back into Gaza. And their bases are under hospitals. They shoot from schools. They embed themselves in the civilian population. They even dress as civilians when they fight. So, like, I guess I don't know what, like, the IDF, just to give them, like, a plausible road into dealing with that situation, like what does the IDF do from the Israeli perspective?
So today, I'm here to watch.
Oh my God! At that point, that is maybe that is like a point of criticism that you could like hold, but then you would have to articulate what the IDF should do as opposed to retaliate, because in the same way that these uprisings and these things happen as an inevitability of the imposition that Israel like puts on the Palestinians, in that same way that's inevitable, it is inevitable that any type of force coming from Palestinians or surrounding Islamic forces will receive a like, you know what I mean? It's reciprocated. You can think that it's unevenly, like, you know what I mean? It's an uneven reciprocation, but I guess that's not what... You get my point. You can think it's uneven, but that doesn't mean that it's not inevitable based on the current circumstances. So we have to think of a diversion, a way to move away from the current back and forth that will inevitably end in Palestinians being, like, wiped out terribly. Because they do not have the militarized force to continue fighting forever. So their numbers would just continue being dwindled down as more insurgents happened.
Walk you through your crash out. The one I warned about, the one I caused, and the one you were never going to escape.
All I need, my friends. It's so good to see you again. Happy Friday to all my...
Happy Friday.
To all my beloved audience members, to my crew, to my beautiful wife, to my dogs. TGIF.
Your crash out began fittingly on 9/11, a day of disaster. It started when Twitter user WowMao posted about Osama bin Laden, sparking a conversation about how history is understood, or at least how it should be. But you, as always...
Wait.
Your crash out began fittingly on 9/11, a day of disaster. It started when Twitter user WowMao posted about Osama bin Laden, sparking...
Do Americans... Is he actually about to side with Osama? Do Americans actually know why bin Laden did all that, or do they just believe he hated that they can vote or something? Osama called for jihad on the West. He said that he said that civilians will not be specific targets, but if caught in the crossfire, will die. Like that. He was an Islamic extremist who believed in forcefully spreading Islam through jihad. He wanted the destruction of the Western idea of multiculturalism.
Sparking a conversation about how history is understood, or at least how it should be. But you, as always, couldn't handle complexity.
I want to talk about my beef with bin Laden. Now, I've made the brave assertion on Instagram, and again, this stems from these TikTok people who are like simping for bin Laden.
You know what's so funny is they simp over the bin Laden letter, but some people argue, oh, that wasn't actually written by bin Laden, that was written by a fucking FBI agent. They actually wrote that to tie it to... That's like what the conspiracy theorists say. But again, there is a video evidence of him literally saying, we call for jihad on the West. If civilians die, they die. That's basically the point that he makes. What? Like, what?
Because he was anti-American. Do Americans actually know why bin Laden did all that? Or do they believe he hated that they can vote or something? Well, can you imagine? People started lining up to die on this hill of defending bin Laden.
I quote retweeted the thread with a simple observation. Ethan Klein has never heard of historical analysis.
So the first thing I saw was this dude named Comrade Casey. Comrade Casey says, Ethan Klein has never heard of historical analysis. We can analyze it all we want. That's his literal words. Like, he's just like, I hate Jewish people and I want to people who have freedoms, who aren't following Sharia law all the time. And they're like, well, what did he really mean by that?
That was the first time you mentioned me.
Wasn't this guy that asked us to read bin Laden from the historical analysis standpoint? I don't remember, but honestly, we should look at bin Laden from a historical analysis perspective. But when you do that, it's still wrong. Like, it's just so weird. History does not oversee morality. And it's so like, we should, but it's still wrong. And also, we're going to talk about like how bin Laden's from Saudi Arabia and like all the fucking ties there and like all the different, like, yes, he was trained in America, as were a lot of Al-Qaeda soldiers and different, like, but again, it's like these things aren't the exact way that people analyze them as. Like the same way that people talk about how 9/11 was actually a Jewish conspiracy theory. It was a Jewish conspiracy done by the Mossad because of the... Have you ever heard of the dancing Israelis? Which is actually something that was let out by the FBI. It's just like multiple layers of stupidity. The FBI let out these things and said these guys were innocent. But we don't believe the FBI in saying that they're innocent, but we do believe the FBI in the arrests of these guys, saying that they were Mossad. Dumb. But again, as always, I digress. I think Haley pointed that out, that I say that a lot, and I was like, God damn it. Haley's comment, why must you point out my catchphrases, I guess.
A moment so small it should have passed unnoticed.
Oh,
but for you...
We got a thumbnail? Let's see. Oh, we do. We do. Still, no. Is this the same thumbnail as yesterday? Or yesterday, Wednesday? Doo-doo-doo. No, it is slightly different. So, same topic.
It was the spark that lit the fuse.
Comrade Casey, you bitch-ass weirdo. You look like a weirdo, and I don't hate mustaches, but man, that's a weirdo mustache.
From there, you did what you always do when confronted with a conversation you can't control. You spiraled.
What was the point of... What was the point of this? Oh, sorry. When you said that, I didn't even read that this is what... My bad. I wasn't even looking at the screen to see that it was Comrade Casey that said this when I said that. I don't know. This, like, I swear my vision's going. I'm getting blurred vision. Everything's gone milky. It's insane.
Casey says, Ethan Klein has never heard of historical analysis. We can analyze it all we want. That's his literal words. Like, he's just like, I hate Jewish people and I want to people who have freedoms, who aren't following Sharia law all the time. And they're like, well, what did he really mean by that?
That was the first time you mentioned me. A moment so small it should have passed unnoticed. But for you, it was the spark that lit the fuse.
Comrade Casey, you bitch-ass weirdo. You look like a weirdo, and I don't hate mustaches, but man, that's a weirdo mustache.
From there, you did what you always do when confronted with a conversation you can't control. You spiraled. You convince yourself that every socialist engaging in that discussion, every single...
I love that he also didn't give us any kind of historical understanding of Osama bin Laden. He was just like, do your own research.
One was somehow...
Oh, you haven't come to my conclusion yet? Do more research then. You still haven't come to my conclusion? You clearly are getting the wrong sources. It's so odd.
Bin Laden, that we were all pro-terrorism. You even circled back to one of your favorite targets, Frogan, because she had the nerve to participate in the conversation like an adult.
Then comes everybody's favorite Hassan moderator, two-time rising star, Frogan. So here I am saying, actually, Osama bin Laden bad. And her response was, this motherfucker...
I'm telling you, this video is Red Casey. Comrade Kaka. Real true. Real true. Real shit and true shit all in one. Real true. The clean version.
Never shuts up. Oh my god. This is the girl who was on in Hassan's Discord saying Ethan hates Arabs because I unfollowed her on Twitter. Tankies falling over themselves to defend Osama bin Laden should tell you all you need to know about their movement. You can like give historical analysis, but this guy is literally saying like, wow, are you dumb? They hated us for our freedoms. And it's like, well, he did. I said, this is a Hassan mod telling me, a Jewish man, to shut the fuck up because I dare to say Osama bin Laden was bad. Thing to tell me in private, like, you know, just so you know, like she's just this way, and I know that she doesn't mean it, and all this kinds of stuff. But like, it's another thing to publicly continue to platform her, and also not to address a massive portion of your audience that is just straight up fucking anti-Semitic.
And while you raged, I released my video, Why the H3 Leftovers podcast will never return. A clear, methodical breakdown of why your show had collapsed, why it couldn't return, why your ego and refusal to self-reflect had poisoned everything you touched. But it wasn't until one fateful day when Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast decided to dive into the deep end of the online sphere of political commentary. That day was the beginning of the end for Steven Crowder.
Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Cedar. What a fucking nightmare.
They certainly got Steven Crowder to admit to quite a bit, like running away from past debates with Sam Cedar.
You're so clever. I had no idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today. He admitted that he followed the show last week.
We got him.
He admitted that he watched the show last week.
We got him. Dude, we played him so hard because he literally was following. He saw that you went live. Dude, we got him.
Oh my God, we nailed him.
But most of the debate was pretty anticlimactic.
I have a general rule. I don't start a debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get
sabotaging?
How about you get
Steven, show yourself, you coward. Steven, show yourself. Don't show your co-host.
Ethan, you should show yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Steven, you are such a coward. Stop showing your little leprechaun co-host who comes out dressed like your sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring
Show Steven.
Despite the debate's disorderly nature, it sparked something in the mind of Ethan. A yearning, a craving. He had one tiny droplet of debate pervertry, and he couldn't go back. Your response was predictable, to say the least. The anger you'd worked up over bin Laden just days earlier spilled over into your comments about me, guaranteeing you'd only make yourself look worse.
You don't want me to talk about you?
Yeah, that's true. Collapsed. Yeah, under the demolition project known as EK.
Well, don't watch, because I'm going to. How's that feel, Casey? I'm talking to you right now. Comrade Casey, we're not comrades anymore. I'm coming for all your commie. I am coming for China. China sucks. Russia, bullshit. Cuba, overrated. Venezuela, shithole. It's a shame that the democratically elected leader had to go into hiding because of...
Comrade Casey just acted like he got shot. He was like, doom, doom, doom. Oh. What you say? That you only meant well. Well, of course you did. What you say? You guys remember that? That it's all for the best. Of course it is. I was so wrong. Okay, I won't keep going, but
of their socialist dictator. Sucks that always happens, doesn't it, Comrade Casey? That's right, Casey. It always happens. Every time.
On the very next episode of your podcast, you covered two blatant examples of anti-Semitism, but then pivoted to stalking my Reddit history.
Speaking of anti-Semitism, there's a little bit going around. I gotta say, I'm grateful to the subreddit who is actually hearing me when I've been speaking about this recently, because I feel like nobody wants to hear it. And I feel supported by the community, which is nice. Somebody got this on the hood of their car. Every single aspect of the media is Jewish. But then this dev tells us something really interesting. This dude, Comrade Casey, he made a video about the end of Leftovers. And you guys are going to love this because it just keeps happening. It's really something. First of all, shout out to whoever did the ops on this. So anyway, this guy who made this video that's like super weird and biased towards Hassan and is like mega commie, tanky. This guy who runs North Star Radio, Comrade Casey, they found his Reddit account. He's a big Hassan fan and clearly developed a deep hatred for Ethan and Hila since October 7th. In his video, at 7 minutes 50 seconds, he mentions he has already been radicalized by Hassan in 2019 and 2020. It seems to me that this guy's the exact sort of awful person Ethan was talking about that is within Hassan's community. Instead of facing and reflecting on that criticism, he goes on to spotlight this guy's obsessive hatred to his audience. So here's this fucking guy. Ever since November 23, he's been calling Ethan a Zionist, scumbag, genocide, denying IDF sim, Israel defender, amongst many other parasocial insane things. I made an imager album of his H3 snark posts in chronological order and sprinkled in a few of his cringy main subreddit posts too along with it. Once again, I have a policy. If you're gonna post to snark with your face, I'd like to know who you are.
You labeled me an anti-Semite, not because of anything I'd said, and certainly not because of anything in the video itself. You never watched the video, never addressed a single point I made.
I haven't watched the whole thing. It's long as f***ing. I generally don't like watching videos like this because it's usually depressing.
But because you needed a scapegoat, someone to absorb the blame you could never accept.
Ethan is a scumbag, genocide,
and then you've never been brought up again, and then he felt scorned.
IDF simp Israel defender. And don't try to tell me I only think that because he's Jewish. Nobody mentioned that, bro. You brought that up. I think that because he's a genocide-denying IDF simp Israel defender. He says, this sub fell off, man. It used to be about hating Ethan and supporting the crew. Motherfucker, I still watch H3 and subscribe, and I'm still a member because I love the crew. Zach is annoying, though. Now, interestingly, this man loves everybody on the crew except Zach.
How you doing, comrade?
Now, again, I didn't bring up Judaism. That was something he brought up. But what does me and Zach have in common?
That's a good point.
That the other crew members don't
I
have.
wonder what that could be.
Circumcised?
What's that around your neck, huh? What's that around your neck, Zach?
We are circumcised.
That's
We
true.
both have been bar
Although AB's
mitzvah.
circumcised. I know that.
We both have been bar mitzvahed.
Oh, shit.
Oh, maybe it's just people that have bar mitzvahs. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
we're Jewish. Oh.
A few reasons, he said. It's ugly. They employ too many people for their size, and they produce far too many pieces.
The other guy's video we watched, he's shit talking Papa Gut right now. How come he couldn't have come in my chat, bro? What the fuck? What, I'm not big enough for you?
Why don't you just switch over? Why don't you just switch over on? Why don't you just comment from your main YouTube channel? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Got his ass.
Check with the other. I'm on my phone. What the fuck does that matter? What does it matter that you're on your phone?
Go of it.
How do I
Setting switch account. Damn, they're coming for him.
verify that you're not just Ryan Beard? You guys sound exactly the same.
That's pretty good.
These new pieces. Hila is cringe. Hila is also
Jewish.
She's Jewish.
Yeah. Watch out for those Z's, Casey. And my name's Zach, so I got like a double Z.
Your Z, the Z man. This one.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, gee whiz. Hold on, I need a minute. This one left me speechless. At a certain point, violence is the only reasonable response to a...
Yeah, I forgot that Comrade Casey was the one that was like all obsessed with love and shit, and then like started making all these weird things. Is he going to like talk these back? Like, is he going to take these back at all, or like?
Double Z.
Your Z, the Z man. This one.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, gee whiz. Hold on, I need a minute. This one left me speechless. At a certain point, violence is the only reasonable response to oppression. Fika, you gonna do about it? And he puts a Hamas headband on love.
Yeah, I still stand by that one.
So that's my boy North Star Radio, who is a hidden snark user / obsessive freak who is making content that is biased against me. And also, apparently, he hates Jewish people.
That was the day my master plan began. The day you chose, publicly and proudly, to take on the role of defending the genocidal Israeli state and began smearing anyone who challenged you as a bigot. The day you set yourself on the path I had already laid out. That was phase 1 of your crash out.
A lot of people have been saying that this is the hot new phrase from the kids, crashing out.
Did he kind of just move on?
North Star Radio, who is a hidden snark user / obsessive freak who is making content that is biased against me. And also, apparently, he hates Jewish people.
That was the day my master plan began. The day you chose, publicly and proudly, to take on the role of defending the genocidal Israeli state and began smearing...
What is the point of this video? I've kind of like... It is so odd that these people can make an hour-long video and so nebulously, like, just fucking flounder through everything. Like, can I show you what a hit piece is supposed to look like real quick? I don't even consider the video I made on Charlie Kirk a hit piece, necessarily. But it acts as a hit piece way better. God damn it. Sorry, I switched my accounts over. There we go. Sorry, I was on my wrong account. The professor's watching, but I literally have it broken down with clips, individual segments where I'm breaking down the argumentation and why it's wrong. I bring up statistics and show why the facts that he's trying to argue just aren't true. Show a lot of different stuff. Show Dan McClellan, another YouTuber who also breaks down some of like Charlie Kirk's faults in his beliefs and stuff. It's like you can really articulate in a very short amount of time, an hour span, you can articulate so many points as to why you disagree with somebody. I didn't even get to all the points on why I disagree with Charlie Kirk, but it's like I feel like this has done nothing so far. He's been like, this day was coming. I've been plotting. Don't you remember me? Look at these clips of me. This is what I do. Yes. It's so odd. Like, he keeps showing, like, he showed all of this stuff just to be like, remember this, Ethan? Remember this? No wonder Ethan hasn't talked about this video. Even if Ethan watched this, he probably stopped after 5 minutes.
anyone who challenged you as a bigot. The day you set yourself on the path I had already laid out. That was phase 1 of your crash out.
A lot of people have been saying that this is the hot new phrase from the kids, crashing out. Hassan was on a stream saying that I'm having a, quote, narcissistic crash out. I don't know what that...
Yeah, and him calling out your snark behavior is not him defending the IDF. Yeah, like, I don't even know how to, like, articulate it. Like, it's just genuinely so stupid. Because it's like, you are unproductively criticizing somebody in support of Palestine, in support, quote unquote. You are not doing anything that is going to benefit any Palestinians. When critiqued on that aspect, in the fact that you are, in the same way that Hassan critiques Ethan, the same way that Hassan points out Ethan, all you care about is you're pointing out denims and you're pointing out Frogan and all the stuff that they say. Why don't you talk about Israel and Palestine? Why don't you talk about what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank? Why don't you talk about these things? You are doing the exact same thing to the nth degree by saying that it's like more important to criticize the, like, oh my God. It's just so weird. It's so dumb. Like, to defend his snark behavior, to say that, oh, well, I'm allowed to do this because you coming at me proves you support the IDF and is thus justification for me doing the things I did initially, is kind of like what I think he's trying to say, which is like, you are using circular logic, which is not, it ain't gonna fly in this classroom, buddy. Rewrite this now.
Exactly that means. But people say, man, you must really lost your mind. And after some self-reflection, I want to say that I apologize for nothing.
Someone called in with a fake Indian accent on Papaga. Fuck, I gotta go find that now. That's way funnier than whatever the fuck this is. That's way better.
Shirt. These are the
calls. How do you join the VC? Let's do it, dude. Oh. Let's see. All right, hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Hold on. Let's make sure it's him. It's not even him, dude. I don't think this is the guy. I'm pretty sure the guy's trolling. This is...
Shout out Alex the Fiction for $5. There would be so much space for pro-Palestinian thoughts and ideas if Ethan wasn't constantly defending himself from these weirdos. Honestly, kind of got a point.
Wait, I think this guy fucking trolled me. Wait. I don't think this is actually him. Hold on a second. Hold on. When I go to his channel, I don't think this is actual channel. It's just me. It's me right now. You're live. You're one of the few creators. Even my partner loves you. I appreciate that. Dude, I think this guy's trolling me. I think he's trolling me.
Is this after? I think
it's his second account. Yeah, that's what he says. I think it's a troll. Do the same thing. I'll go, oh, it actually... hey, get up.
Come on.
What? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I have no idea what the fuck this means.
How are you doing?
Ethan's post. Let's see. Instagram.com. Love this guy's videos. Good watch. iDubbbz is snark-brained. Oh. Dear Mr. Jake Chinatown, age 39, male, unemployed. Noticing a trend. You live in Texas, but your family lives in Minnesota, which becomes relevant in case you evade service. Judging by your appearance, you are single as well, and clearly insecure about your receding hairline. Bitter, single, broke, and alone. No wonder you've turned to socialism. You wasted the 39 years you've been granted shitposting on Twitter and obsessing over the Twitch millionaire. You're running out of time, my friends. How many Tinder swipes does it take to find a match? 100? 1,000? Or have they stopped completely? I understand now why you want to kill my children. Because if you can't have any, no one should. You are the picture of an incel in every conceivable way. Hassan is clearly leading you down the road of self-loathing and misery. 30% of Hassan's audience is unemployed, 6 times the national average. My community is vibrant, employed, and loved. And unrelated, 40% gay. Hey, that's a little more than his 15%, gotta say. It is not too late for you. Even now, if in this late hour, I will accept an apology and let all go, and let it all go. If you prefer to continue to lie, harass, and threaten my children, there is nowhere you can hide. And if you don't believe me, all you need to do is wait. Ooh, got him. Coming for him.
I'm about to get peer pressured. All right, let's get peer pressured. Let's see. Let's see.
No, it is right here.
I know
It
it's
is
not
right
really.
here. Don't worry, it's right here.
So we're gonna roll the dice, dude. We're rolling the dice. We're rolling the troll. Hello?
Hello? Hello? How are you doing, sir? Hello? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. What's going on, Duncan?
Yeah, Art. What your criticism of my video, eh?
I can't do it, dude.
Why you say?
Dude, I can't do it. That's fucking insane and racist. That's actually fucking insane and racist at the same time. That was fucking insane.
I'm red. I'm like a bright red now. Oh, that got me. What is your problem with my video? Yeah, he's just asking, man. He's asking the real questions. Oh, that got me.
It wasn't easy at first. I was one of the first socialists you tried to discredit this way, one of the few you marked as an anti-Semite for daring to criticize you, long before you turned on Hassan. But I stood my ground, because the truth was worth fighting for.
And it seems to have like a neutral title, but I think everybody noticed as they were watching through it. Even Hassan, I think, commented on it. This video's a little fucking weird.
Yeah.
Nate, you mentioned you had watched it.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing. It is biased towards Hassan. It's all about...
I can't stop laughing. It wasn't even that funny. It was the fact that Papa Gut was going to try and have a conversation with him for a second. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for, was just that they were going to have a short little back and forth.
How you kind of screwed everything up. And pretty much the core of the video is that you became like a debate pervert, who then challenged Hassan and
Even Hassan.
Did the title update? Let's see. Still no. Wow.
Was getting like frustrated watching it, and he was confused.
Come on, Ethan, you're posting small channels on your Instagram story. Post the waiting room so people can come check in here.
And he's like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, Hassan didn't like the video at all, from what I recall. He thought it was weird, and the more it went on, the more he kind of like disliked it.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta finish. I'll finish this tomorrow. I gotta do the podcast. Personal news-wise, I ended the broadcast. We watched a YouTube video that was really good, and I highly recommend you guys check it out, despite Comrade Casey in the chat, also known as, I believe, North Star Radio. Is that what it is? Is that what his YouTube name is? I forget.
And just as I had predicted, you never truly respected Hassan Piker after ending Leftovers, no matter how much you pretended otherwise. You were simply waiting for a solid catalyst, an excuse to finally burn that bridge too. And when it came, you didn't hesitate. You denounced Hassan as a terror supporter, a communist propagandist, a raging anti-Semite. This was phase 2 of your crash out.
I did text him a couple weeks ago after I saw the clip of him saying that he had no problem with Hezbollah. I texted him that I thought it was pretty disappointing and disturbing the way that he was hyping up Hezbollah. In fact, we haven't spoken in a few months. We've spoken very little since the show ended. I've been taking these stupid little pot shots at him and Instagram stories and stuff. Something happened over the past few days that really fucking set me off and made me get determined to finally just do this once and for all. I am seeing a concerning rise in anti-Semitism and a normalization of it. I don't think Hassan is anti-Semitic, but I do think that stuff he does contribute to it.
Most of them
call you a vicious anti-Semite.
Well, never say never.
Well, I think he's. You
definitely called him an anti-Semite many times.
Vicious is different. I think he propagates anti-Semitism. It made me think of this tweet from our wonderful Houthi pirate, the cute Houthi pirate that Hassan interviewed, and I remembered this tweet he put out. Just a cute tweet from our favorite Houthi. Same people telling me to kill myself love this guy, and that's true. They do. They love him. Hassan interviewed him. He hypes him up even as recent as like this week. This is a tweet he put out. The execution that we will carry out on all Zionists. This kid is a rampant anti-Semite and a violent Houthi terrorist. This kind of rhetoric, frankly, disgusts and scares me. People call me a Zionist.
Shut up, Alex. Yes, I'm still thinking about the Papa Gut thing. Shut up. I'm trying to focus on the video.
People call my wife a Zionist. It's my family. This is my children's life. And this is a guy someone who I consider a friend, is talking about how cute.
No, again, yeah. Every single clip that he's used so far really is just like, it requires some kind of contestment. Like it requires some kind of like, you know, clarification on why it is wrong. You can't just be like, you keep saying these things. Because like the whole thing is he keeps saying stuff before the clips, but then they have almost nothing to do with the clips themselves.
Cute and funny and awesome he is. And here's Hassan, their darling creator, has tons of ads running on his channel showing to his audience that Houthis are awesome. For whatever reason, I find a lot of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, weird, obsessive harassment is pretty much 80% Hassan fans. There's nobody on the entire platform to call him out. Nobody. They've all been banned. Nobody. There's not a single dissenting voice.
This is quite literally just like a clip, like a clip show. Like I wonder how much of this is actually commentary and like him talking about stuff.
With his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, fucking pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic that is not normal. And it is the only acceptable voice on Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one dissenting voice on that entire platform? And this has really contributed to a lot of extremism being normalized. It's because young people are on Twitch, they go to Hassan and they think this is normal. And it's the only option. You can't even click over to someone else who's like, actually, this is why Hassan's wrong. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
Phase 1 was simple. Bait the hook. Get you to expose yourself. And you did, publicly, spectacularly. But phase 2, that was psychological. I didn't need to make you look bad.
That was supposed to be him exposing himself? Again, exposing himself as what? Or, like, in what regard? It's so, like, you're not actually making any points.
Bad anymore. I just had to make sure you felt ignored. That's why I told Hassan, don't respond. Don't give Ethan the fight he wants.
He's been shitting on you on his members only streams. I don't care. Or literally shout on you yesterday and his coworker for saying from the river to the sea, sorry dog. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care. And neither should you. I personally don't even care if he's like calling me out or whatever. I heard that like people were...
Wait, did he even read like a Casey message? Or is he just saying like, Hassan, listen to me? I said don't respond and Hassan actually listened to what I had to say.
Don't give Ethan the fight he wants.
He's been shitting on you on his members only...
I can't read what this fucking name is. I feel like it's too long to be North Star Radio.
I don't care. Or literally shout on you yesterday and his coworker for saying from the river to the sea, sorry dog. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care. And neither should you. I personally don't even care if he's like calling me out or whatever. I heard that like people were saying that Ethan talked about me on his podcast today or some shit like that. I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
No matter how desperate you got, he stayed silent. Not because he was afraid, not because he didn't have a response, because silence was the response. And that silence drove you insane.
Hassan can't watch a single point I made. He just needs to fucking call me crazy and say I'm hallucinating. Zero accountability. That's so cowardly, man. At least watch it. Hassan, I'm sad to say, did not watch any of it. He didn't watch a single point I made. When I get criticized, I pull it up and I watch the fucking criticism. Hassan opens Comrade Casey tweets and snark posts and reads their interpretation of my video. The guy is such a coward, dude. He still has not responded. This man takes the opportunity to watch every single Ethan hate video on stream in its entirety. I don't think I've watched one hate video on Hassan because it's fucking pathetic. But he manages to do it every day, pretty much every Ethan hate video, of which we all know there's a lot.
I just like the argument too. This goes against it, but oh, is he gonna have it?
You'd already burned bridges.
Oh, I was hoping he was gonna show the clip of Hassan being like, "You are the hate videos. You are the one making the videos." Well, the whole thing would be then he's sourcing the clips and showcasing why he believes you to be wrong, whereas you are just listening why someone else thinks that Ethan is wrong, and not actually making your own critical analysis.
With Frogan, with me, with the Leftovers audience, and now Hassan was slipping away too. No matter how many times you baited him, he refused to acknowledge you. And the more he ignored you, the more irrelevant you felt.
Bro, he's projecting so hard right now.
No matter how many times you baited him, he refused to acknowledge you. And the more he ignored you, the more irrelevant you felt, the more invisible you became. For a man like you, a man who lives for reaction, for engagement, that was unbearable. But while Hassan stayed silent, he wasn't blind. I made sure of that.
Anyway, this is Ethan Klein.
I made sure of that. Okay, yeah, he was watching the North Star Radio video. There we go.
The rise of liberal Islamophobia.
There's at least a little connection.
Yeah.
Before you ever released the content nuke, I compiled every deranged thing you'd said in defense of Israel, the things you thought no one had noticed, and put them into a single video. Hassan watched it.
Oh, I think this was the video that I watched and basically like broke down. Maybe it was this one. I just remember it was the one where he tried to use the clip of Ela talking about Ramallah. And I broke down using the original clip and showed everything, like showed the context and stuff. And I do remember that was part of the video.
For the first time, he saw what you really were.
Frankly, there are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area. And once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, basically...
Like, this is just grave replacement. You understand that, right?
It's going to be a secular country? You mean Hamas, the Islamic fundamentalist group?
I haven't seen this video. What the is this? I don't even know where this is from.
Are you going to argue that?
But this is a ridiculous video.
By the way, segregation is not real. There's 20% of the population in Israel is Palestinian, full citizens, integrated in all levels of work.
I'm beginning to realize that I just didn't see a lot of Ethan's commentary after the leftovers fallout, which led me to...
It's the same way Casey's doing it. You're just saying things. You're not fucking making any arguments. Like, actually make an argument of why this is incorrect. Don't just go, oh my god, I haven't seen this before. Oh my god, the more I see of him, the more I realize he's just a Zionist evil.
Assume
AB got banned on Twitch? No way. I saw he accidentally did like he accidentally did like an 11-hour stream or something. Okay, no. Okay. He's still up. You got me scared. Whew. Maybe he got like a temp ban or something where like he can't post or something. I don't know. I just saw a video or a clip where he accidentally did like an 11-hour stream with just a screen, with just him like a frame. You scared me.
That he wasn't doing straightforward pro-Israel propaganda, because this right here is just straight up Hasbro.
But still, he didn't respond. That was the brilliance of it. He waited, and as the silence dragged on, the pressure built until you finally cracked.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a weaselly little fucking liar. He's just straight up lying. He's just lying right now. In fact, this is a lie that he keeps saying, is that I'm somehow aligning myself with Keemstar.
You not only continued framing Hassan as...
Oh, a bunch of streamers got banned? Interesting.
Some kind of communist terrorist sympathizer, but pushed the narrative harder, louder. You weren't just lashing out anymore. You were building a case, a manifesto.
Any laws that we can go after Hassan for? Are you familiar with that? Has he broken any...
Oh, it was the player. He wasn't... Okay. Interesting.
Domestic terror laws or... No, probably not domestic terror laws, but like inciting. I mean, what can we do about that?
Because you thought if you laid it all out, if you compiled every petty grievance, every distorted memory, every talking point into one massive piece of content, you could force him to engage. That was the birth of the content nuke.
Also, I have been teasing a work on a video I've been working on, or a special project, let's say. I have spent every waking moment on this project. And,
except for when you take care of your kids, right?
I am in such a state of relief knowing that everything on my project is backed up. Nothing is going to stop this video from happening. I've spent way too much time on this to not make sure it's perfect in every way. So I've delayed the release again to next week. It's pretty much done, but I want all the time that I need to go over every minute of this nearly 2-hour-long odyssey. And what's probably, no, not probably, it's my biggest project I've ever done in my long YouTube career. This is my first project like this, and it's so long, Dan. And the world is waiting.
But what you didn't realize is that was my plan all along. I wanted you to crack. I wanted you to gather all your worst takes.
Is he trying to be like, it wasn't 3D chess so that you made the content nuke and are suing all of these creators? I actually wanted you to make the content nuke. Is that actually where this is going right now?
Flimsiest arguments.
Come on, man. Come on.
Into one massive public self-own. Because I knew that once you pushed all your chips in, that's when the real spiral would begin. And you walked right into it.
The solution to that would always be education and offering more...
re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps isn't disturbing enough, I started to notice that Hassan was carrying a lot of...
First of all, where did he say that? Oh my god, where did he say that? Second of all, why is this giving high school video projects? Everybody, you need to go home and make a YouTube video. All right.
They've also set up landmines in agricultural spots, making the field virtually worthless.
That's an interesting claim, isn't it? So let's check that out. You can immediately tell there's something weird here, because it's like citing the Yemen army saying this, and the Yemen army is the deeply unpopular Yemeni government that basically the entire country rebelled against. Let's look up this outlet. Who is Arab News? Arab News is an English language newspaper published in Saudi Arabia, and it is owned by Turki bin Salman Al Saud, the brother of the ruling crown prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. This is Ethan Klein's source. A Saudi...
What? Explain why it's wrong. Don't just be like, the source is biased. The source is actually biased.
Government propaganda outlet. This is one of the greatest minds of our time, clearly.
The content nuke was supposed to be your magnum opus. Nearly 2...
And I love this coming from the people that support, like, Saudi-backed, like... What the fuck? You guys are the ones saying Osama bin Laden is all... Like, my brain is genuinely like... The cognitive dissonance they must interact with on a daily basis, on a momentary basis, like every second of their day must be just la, 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 la. Like it's just the most what?
2 hours of self-pity, delusion, and projection. A desperate attempt to force the world, and especially Hassan, to finally pay attention. And in a way, it worked. You got the attention you craved, but not the kind that brings validation or victory. You got the kind that brings reckoning. Once the nuke dropped, everything that had been simmering boiled over. Hassan finally responded, not with indifference, not with mockery, but with pure rage. The silence you mistook for weakness had only sharpened the blade, and when it came down hard.
You literally have an intellectual disability if you think that, like, I am fearful of watching an...
Is that cool? Is it cool for Hassan to say that? This is what I'm talking... This is why the point I always try and bring up when people say, oh, you can't say the R word. The R word's bad. I agree. We shouldn't be saying the R word. But I think that it is more problematic when people like Hassan use stuff like you're mentally disabled, you're neurodivergent. You are like, bro. Oh my God. Everything about like. Can you, in your own video that's supporting the like this person, make him look good? Can you not fucking like? What is happening?
Hour and 40-minute video made by a dude who literally thought Roe v. Wade was the gay one last week. When I'm watching children get mutilated every goddamn day, I think it's a pathetically selfish way to approach that conversation from the personal feelings of a rich 100 millionaire sitting in a Bel Air mansion talking about his own goddamn feelings. God damn, how selfish, how delusional, how stupid to just like think that anyone outside of your marginal cult that you have whittled away over and over again is going to look at the situation and go, yeah, you know what, dude, you are actually right. You've totally convinced me that baby murder, unlimited baby murder is all right now, actually. That like people who call that sort of behavior out are all seemingly radical.
Who justified that? When did they say that? What claim was made that is even similar to that? Please explain. Who said, well, actually, the baby murder is justified. That was a good thing that happened. Who said that? Who said anything even tangential to that fucking statement?
Islamist, extremist terrorists who I will assume are being funded by Qatar.
You didn't just lose a debate. You lost the last shred of credibility that allowed people to take you seriously. But the fallout didn't end there. It couldn't, because that was only the beginning. Your housekeeper sued you, and CPS came knocking. Both entirely out of my hands, I should add. If I had to guess, that was your estranged housekeeper settling some unfinished business.
My former housekeeper, Elizabeth, her name's in the complaint, filed a lawsuit for, I think, the charge is wrongful termination. Her allegation is that she needed time off to get her hernia treated, and then we just fired her. This morning, we got a visit from Child Protective Services.
Reddit completely turned on you, which was entirely me.
There's like this faux moi, there's YouTube drama, there's snark, and now I even started seeing it on this subreddit. There was an attempt. They seem to all be somehow run by these people, and it's come to the point where it's just like completely nonstop, relentless. The harassment that me and Eli are receiving is just genuinely unfucking comparable.
I'm seeing people say, I'm looking into it right now real quick, but that these subs all share common mods.
Yes, Reddit is fucking sleeping at the wheel. This shit that they're allowing is so they have the same moderators on all of these fucking huge subreddits that are just weaponized harassment. There has to be a way to hold Reddit accountable. At this point, I can't even blame the snarkers. It's just they are enabling it, they're allowing it, and as far as I can tell, they're participating in it.
I mean, I practically begged Steve Huffman to watch what you were saying about him, and as soon as he did, it was over for you.
Where's Reddit headquarters? San Francisco?
Maybe do this after the show?
Well, I'm saying I'll go there and do a show in front of their fucking office. I'll do what I have to do. These people are fucking with my children. I will go and I will fucking stay there as long as I need to, and I'll do.
Ethan winning or losing the debate is a subjective claim, but he objectively made better arguments during the debate that actually stood on like factual grounds rather than just, again, using pathos, which doesn't rhetorically benefit anybody other than, you know, your own side that already agrees with you.
Do the show in front of Reddit headquarters and dedicate every episode to destroying every executive officer there and dragging them to fucking hell. That's my point. I no longer care, right? I don't care. I will drag these people into hell with me. That's what I'm saying I'll do. Go through every detail of this dude's life.
Noah Samson released a video dissecting.
Yeah, I don't know how they still aren't live. We're at 12:33. I should have put an hour as an option. Ian and Anissa, pay your fighters. H3 show number 168. We still got 67 down here though. 67.
The nuke after I instructed him to, and in your usual
Oh my god, 6-7. Oh my, what is happening? It's everywhere. I'm telling you.
You responded not with arguments, but with a lawsuit.
I don't know how many of you know who this guy Noah Samson is. He's a bread tuber, a lefty. I mean, he's like a revolutionary who's just waiting for someone else to start the revolution. He made now 2 videos calling me a genocide supporter, provided 0 evidence. I know he wants me to respond to every point in his video, which I will do in a much more formal setting.
What do you mean by that? Some sort of symposium?
He started his second video by saying Ethan's threatened to sue me. It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
Oh.
I'm literally going to sue you for defamation.
Oh boy.
And I can't wait for you. You can do your cute little videos and all that kinds of business on your YouTube channel. But when it comes to, I'd love to see you reason out in a court document about how I and Mudahar support genocide. I really look forward to that.
And just when it seemed like there might be a moment to breathe, iDubbbz released Content Cop H3, a clean, methodical dissection of your entire public unraveling. That was the final straw.
What happened? There's more bad news?
I do have some more bad news for you. Your old friend iDubbbz just released a video.
Yeah.
It's about you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. That is no, it can't be. It actually can't be. Holy dude.
It sure is.
Oh my God. Klein coming at you live from
We're live. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you think I should continue this and finish it off and really see the points that he had to make in this last little stretch of the video, leave it in a comment down below after the stream's over. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here, let's see one more time if I can raid. Let's see if they opened it up. If Ethan, if Dan did his due diligence. If Dan done Dan it. H3. H3. Nope. Doesn't show up. Interesting. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Captain Quazo, signing off. Yeah, we can finish it next stream. That'll actually work out. The raid doesn't work. Dan didn't set it up.